Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Pittsfield Suns pregame show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Now Braith with a 1-2 as this one's lifted into left center field. Going back as a center fielder. This one's going to go behind his head and one run will score. Running second now is going to be Kevin Donati, and he's going to be running third. Going all the way to second base is now going to be Janowski. He's going to stay put. No throw. And that is a 2 RBI 2-bagger by the second baseman, Brandon Janowski. And the Suns now lead it by a score of 6-2.
Now we're going to take you to the birthplace of baseball, Pittsfield, Massachusetts, and Paul Dowd Field at historic Wacona Park.
Here again, the payoff. High fly ball down the left field line. Going back here is Maduri towards the warning track. Gone! Pittsfield Suns tie up the ball game with a clutch 2-run homer by Connor Moriarty.
Now here's your host for Pittsfield Suns baseball, Billy Madewell and Andrew Belargent.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to beautiful Paul Dowd Field at Wacona Park in Pittsfield, Massachusetts, as the Pittsfield Suns get ready to take FCBL action in the tail end of a home-and-home against the Worcester Bravehearts. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for making us a part of your late afternoon and early evening. My name is Billy Madewell. Alongside me, as always, my longtime broadcast partner, Andrew Belargent. And Andrew, a performance and pitching start of the year. Yesterday, a big win for the Suns against these very same Bravehearts.
Was it ever big? After a unfortunate tight loss to the North Shore Navigators, the Suns completely flipped the script, go on the road to one of the FCBL's hottest teams, and pull out a W.
With that being said, an absolutely phenomenal pitching start by Gage Feeney. Nearly had a complete game shutout, ultimately going 8 1/3, which again is quite a prospect to be seen as well. And we're not going to take a break right now, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to kick things right off here on the Pittsfield Suns pregame show here on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. Andrew Belargent, he is going to have the full standings and the full report of the trip around the FCBL. He's going to have that here for you, as we are not going to take a break. We are going to enjoy it as much as we can for the pregame, making sure that we have practically all the bases covered for, well, of course, lack of a better phrase. Andrew, what's going on?
Well, looking around the standings at the FCBL, the Martha's Vineyard Sharks enjoyed the Suns defeating the Worcester Bravehearts yesterday, as it allowed them to get a little bit more breathing room in what's quickly becoming a very tight race to the top of the FCBL. The Sharks did win their most recent game to go to 28-13, but even after the Suns beating Worcester, the Sharks are now only 2 games up ahead of the Bravehearts after residing atop the FCBL most of the season. Meanwhile, those very same Bravehearts are 26-15, 2 back of the Martha's Vineyard Sharks, and really no one else to challenge him, as the third-place Bristol Blues are 2.5 back of the Worcester Bravehearts, so Worcester closer to first than they are to falling back down to third. And looking at that, in fourth place are the Brockton Rocks, who are kind of off on their own, really. They're 2.5 back of the Bristol Blues at 22-21, but they have a comfortable 3.5 game lead over the Pittsfield Suns, who, even after their recent win against Worcester, the Suns are still 6 games under 500 at 17-23. They have a 2.5 game cushion over the North Shore Navigators, despite the fact the Navigators won here recently. The Navigators sit at 15-26. However, they themselves have a bit of a comfortable lead over the Nashville Silver Knights, as the Navigators are the last team to get into the postseason if the playoffs were to begin today. The Silver Knights have a little bit of catching up to do if they want to qualify for the postseason in order to defend their FCBL championship. Alas, they've lost 6 straight games, so really not making it any easier on themselves, as the Silver Knights sit at 13-29. Not a great season for the defending FCBL champions, as they are 2.5 back of the North Shore Navigators for trying to at least qualify to get back into the postseason. Anyhow, looking at games going around the FCBL at the moment, or rather games that happened yesterday, as previously mentioned, backed by an incredible start from Gage Feeney, the Suns were triumphant yesterday in Worcester over the Bravehearts by a score of 4-1. Meanwhile, the Nashville Silver Knights were at Camp Manoli Stadium taking on the Brockton Rocks yesterday. Brockton defended their home field by a score of 9-5. Meanwhile, the Martha's Vineyard Sharks pulled out a big win in Bristol, taking advantage of the Bravehearts losing by defeating the Blues at Muzzy Field by a score of 6-4. And well, looking at today's games, I guess I should say there's a lack thereof, as today's game between the Bravehearts and Suns is actually the only game going to happen around the FCBL, with A game between the Martha's Vineyard Sharks and North Shore Navigators having been postponed for July 28th at 4 p.m. And an outright cancellation as the Bristol Blues were going to host the Nashua Silver Knights. However, the weather had other plans in mind, and as a result, the two teams will not play, and it will not be made up, at least according to the website. Moving forward here, I had the opportunity to sit down with Pittsfield Suns skipper Matt Gedman, and that will be played in just a moment. But before we do that, we have a few PSAs to listen to before I get to sit down and talk to Getty here on the Pittsfield Suns pregame show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
I have a passion for the environment. That's why I serve in the United States Coast Guard. We monitor commercial vessels, making sure our ports and waterways are safe and clean from oil or other hazardous material. We patrol our fisheries, protect marine wildlife and their habitats. With all we do, it's about protecting America.
Were you born ready to protect America? Learn more at gocoastguard.com.
Sponsored by the United States Coast Guard in cooperation with the Massachusetts Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hi, we're talking to real smokers about quitting. Tell me when you smoke and why you smoke.
Eat, cigarette, kids, cigarette, dinner, another cigarette.
One on my way to lunch, one after lunch.
And another cigarette, and another cigarette.
Have you tried to quit?
Yes. I become angry.
It ain't that easy. You can't just quit cold turkey. I tried.
What would you do different?
Actually having a plan and thinking it through.
You have to relearn how to live your life without a cigarette in your hand.
With the right plan, you can quit smoking. Free at becomeanx.org. X, a new way to think about quitting. Brought to you by X and the Ad Council.
The following commercial is sponsored by feedthepig.org, an organization devoted to helping you save money. We will not entice you with messages like
lowest prices in town, dealer approved, certified pre-owned.
Nor will we brag about our
huge selection, enormous variety.
We will offer no contingencies like
see store for details. Legal exclusions apply.
Because we simply want to help you spend smarter and save better. Log on to feedthepig.org. Find the benefits of saving for every stage of life. Brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
Home safety is a family effort. Being safe and sound should be everyone's priority. In times like these, theft and violence can strike anywhere. Protect your family. Keep your home well lighted and always lock doors and windows. Installing alarms adds an extra level of protection. Never leave valuables in plain sight. To learn more about protecting your home and family, visit ncpc.org or contact your local law enforcement agency.
A message from the U.S. Department of Justice, National Crime Prevention Council, and the Ad Council.
Did you know that every 2 seconds someone in America needs blood? Dr. Phil here, and I'd like to encourage you to donate blood through the American Red Cross. If you've never given before, now's a great time to start. If you've given before, do it again. It only takes about an hour, and your donation could make a life-saving difference. So contact the American Red Cross today. To make an appointment, call 1-800-GIVE-LIFE or visit givelife.org today. Thank you.
Welcome back to the Pittsfield Suns Game Show, the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. For today's sit-down talk, I have with me today Pittsfield Suns skipper Matt Gedman. Coach Gedman, how are you doing today?
Good. How are you doing?
Very good. So having a look at the Suns at the moment being coming right out of the All-Star game, the big win yesterday looking to get back on track. The Suns are kind of in no man's land at the moment. 3.5 games back on the Rocket Rocks for fourth place, but 2.5 up, pretty safe and secure over the North Shore Navigators at the moment. How do you feel about the team's position standings-wise?
We're doing all right. I mean, kind of caught in limbo, like you said. We won 2 out of 3 since coming back. Could have been 3 out of 3. You know, it could have been 1 out of 3. So I like the fight we've shown since come back from the All-Star break. I know you said Brock was a little ahead of us, but you know they're in striking distance, and that means a home playoff game. So that's what we're trying to get right now.
Right. So looking back at yesterday's game against the Worcester Bravehearts, your team went to Worcester and took them down. They've been an absolute tear beforehand. How do you think your team managed to pull out the W yesterday?
I mean, it starts with pitching, and Gage Feeney gave us, you know, probably the best start of the year. He had a chance at a complete game shutout, which is unheard of in this league, especially with pitch count. So for him to go out 8 innings, 80 pitches, you know, he wasn't striking out a ton of guys. He throws enough strikes. He throws a heavy ball. Keeps it down in the zone. You know, he keeps the defense engaged. So, you know, a lot of easy outs, a lot of quick innings. And so, like I said, starts with pitching. He gives you that outing. And from that point on, it's kind of, you know, kind of the guys got rolling from there.
Having a look at the most recent home game here against the North Shore Navigators, ultimately a controversial call and a pickoff throw ultimately led to your removal from the game, for lack of a better way of putting it. And, of course, a subsequent projection of a flashing baseball. So reflecting on the moment, do you believe, looking back at it, that you were in the right during the whole thing? And you remember how you felt during that particular sequence of events?
It was kind of a spot where, it was a big moment in the game. The guy was clearly out. So the out missed it. I mean, we've been flat. We scored 1 run in the first 15 innings back. So I feel like it was a good spot to, try to get some guys going. And then once I was out of the game, it took a little while, but they responded. And Shalakis and Chris Barrod did a good job of, rallying the guys and led to a good game yesterday.
A trend, at least going into the All-Star game, not so much coming out, is that the team's pitching and batting have started games excellently, and then they seem to weaken as the games progress. Do you think that this could be an issue with either player stamina or complacency, and if so, how would you try to correct the problem?
I don't know if it's a complacency or anything. I think it's guys working through a few things, and our starting pitching's been there. We don't have a ton of bullpen guys, but the guys we have done a really good job, and I think it's definitely not like a tiredness. It's a short season, even though it's a long season. If you know what I mean? It's 50 games, but at the end of the day, it's still not a lot. So I think they're fine. So I don't think it's an issue either way, pitching or hitting.
Looking ahead to tonight's game, the weather forecast for tonight's game is not particularly promising, as 2 other games in the FCBL have been postponed and 1 being canceled. As a manager, how does your approach to each game change when you expect to have bad weather?
I mean, you just got to play like a normal game. Maybe if the weather comes in, it's the 5th or 6th. If you have a lead, going to different guys, maybe backing guys out of pen as opposed to trying to bridge it to get to your closer. But honestly, the weather shouldn't be an issue for us. You play the game hard no matter, what the score is, what inning it is. And, if we're up and it starts to rain, then good. If we're down, then so be it.
And now looking ahead again to tonight's game, how do you think the Suns will avoid having the Bravehearts avenge yesterday's defeat today?
I mean, it's a different lineup for both teams, different pitching staff, so it's a new day. So I don't think last night's game dictates anything that's going to happen today. So new day, fresh start for both teams. We'll try to get on a little roller.
Thank you very much for joining me today, and wish your team a good game today.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
With more on the Pittsfield Suns Pregame Show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Type 2 diabetes is a serious chronic health threat in America. It affects tens of millions of people. Many people who have the disease don't know it. Diabetes can cause health problems such as heart disease, strokes, amputations, and blindness. Talk to your doctor, get screened if you're at risk, and learn how to avoid becoming one of the millions of new cases of diabetes each year. You can help prevent type 2 diabetes. A message from CDC and HHS.
In times like these, violence in our schools is a reality, so it's important to know what to do if a dangerous situation arises, and also how to prevent it. Kids, never bring a weapon to school, and if you see a student with one, or even hear someone talking about having a weapon, report it immediately. If something doesn't seem right or look right to you, speak up. If someone you know is showing signs of anger, or if you are feeling out of control, tell someone. If you feel threatened or bullied, tell someone. Violent acts often start out as small disagreements. Tell a parent or teacher if you see an argument taking place. It's better to let someone know about a disagreement before it gets out of hand. Let's put an end to these tragedies. Ask your school to adopt an anti-violence program. Visit ncpc.org to learn more about how to keep your school safe. That's ncpc.org. A message from the U.S. Department of Justice, National Crime Prevention Council, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the Pittsfield Suns pregame show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. So, with everything having been said and done, let's have a look at tonight's lineups for both teams. Beginning off with the lineup for the visiting Worcester Bravehearts. Leading off, the designated hitter number 4, Chris Rinaldi. Batting second, the second baseman number 3, Edward House. The home run derby participant and all-star right fielder number 15, Michael Delacari, will bat third. And it will be followed up by the cleanup hitter, number 21, Dustin Harris, who will play first. The catcher, number 25, Brent Kuffel, hits fifth, with left fielder, number 11, Kirk Sidwell, batting sixth. Batting seventh is Joe Pesch, the center fielder, number 18, with John Hansen manning the hot corner and batting eighth. The order is finished off by the shortstop, number 46, Will Lucas. And looking at who the Suns will use to respond to these 9. Well, that would be number 35, Bryson Cafaro. And Cafaro A bit of a rough season for Cafaro, mainly utilized as a starter for the Suns this year. Pitching six total games, 4 starts, 24 and a third pitched with 30 hits given up, 21 runs, 18 earned, walked a dozen, striking out 16, a winning and 2 losing decisions on the year, in lieu with a rather high 6.65 ERA. And to that point, looking at who will be backing Cafaro up in terms of the bats for today's game for the Suns. Leading off, playing center, strangely enough, is number 6, Alexander White. Hitting second, the first baseman, proving he's a true utility guy, number 30, Thomas Hughes, will bat second. Hitting third, voted into the All-Star game this year, the second baseman, number 8, Drew DiMartino. Cleanup goes to the designated hitter, number 21, Peter Marin. Third baseman, number 39, Ivan Nunez, will bat fifth, followed up by the shortstop, number 5, Brian McHale. Kyle Cronk will hit 7th and reside in left. Vicente Mendoza will finish the picture in the outfield at playing right and batting 8th. Finally, the backstop for today's contest for the Suns and batting 9th is number 19, Severino Simeone. And looking at who they will be facing off with today to start off for the Bravehearts, that would be number 44, Jake Sanderson. And while looking at Sanderson, pretty good line in his first 2 starts for the Bravehearts this year, albeit a fairly short one, as it looks like he's just trying to get himself stretched out. 2 starts, 9 innings pitched, 7 hits allowed, 4 runs, 2 earned, walked a couple with 8 strikeouts, a winning decision on the year with a 2 ERA, looking to try to further that ERA. And with that, lineups have been revealed for both sides. We've had a look around the FCBL. Now all there's left to do today is to call today's game, and we can't do that without our play-by-play broadcaster, and for that, I will bring in Billy Madewell.
Thank you again, Andrew, for your insight with the trip around the FCBL, and right now we have a managers meeting here at home plate. So with that being said, the umpires for tonight's contest, you currently see right now behind home plate that is going to be Mark Irish behind the plate, and on the bases will be Tyler Bullock. Now for the Pittsfield Suns, of course, bring out Matt Gedman. Pittsfield Suns in his 2nd year. JP Pine there for the Worcester Bravehearts. Now, again, Andrew, Suns won 2 out of 3 since coming back from the All-Star break. Could have been 3 out of 3, could have been 1 out of 3, all depending on situations. But right now, the Suns are chasing Brockton.
Indeed they are, and they're also being pursued by the North Shore Navigators and to a lesser extent the Nashville Silver Knights. So plenty of distance behind them, but they have a big hill to climb if they want to reach the Brockton Rocks up there in 4th place and get themselves a home playoff game.
And that right now is what it's all about, is at least getting a home playoff berth. If not, of course, going all the way up and getting a first-round bye, albeit that is, at this point, very unlikely with how the schedule is set up. So with that being said, again, for the Suns, what have they done really since coming back from the All-Star break that has really gotten things going here for them, per se?
Well, we've seen some phenomenal pitching. They pitched a complete team shutout against the Nashville Silver Knights a few days ago. A pretty decent day, albeit with 1 rough inning the last time we were here against North Shore, and then almost completely shutting down a very hot Worcester Bravehearts lineup last night. So the pitching has certainly been there. If the offense can get up there too, Billy, maybe a first-round bye isn't so undoable after all.
Yeah, they're not as far back as you would think. If they can go on the hottest of the hot for winning streaks, then, yeah, Andrew, that's not out of the realm of possibility, at least not quite yet, well, especially with the Pittsfield Suns facing off against the Worcester Bravehearts today, and then they're also going to be having a doubleheader come Saturday.
Yeah, win a few games against Worcester, and you're closer than you think.
But they really need to win practically almost every game, if not, I believe, 7 out of 10, while Worcester losing all of them.
Well, looking at it, I think, of course, that is mathematically possible, but I think a more reasonable goal may be to simply try to overtake Brockton for a home playoff game.
I think that would be the best bet here. And, boy, what a great time would it be. Looking at the playoff picture right now for the Suns, they have the possibility to have us go to Martha's Vineyard. Have us go and revisit Worcester or revisit Bristol at this point. There's a lot going on, but we're going to Listening live for on-field lineups and announcements. You've been listening to the Pittsfield Suns pregame show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
From Eastern Connecticut State University, number 6, Alex White. At first base, from the University of Oklahoma, with baseball playing program, number 30, Thomas Hughes. At second base, from the University of Hartford, with baseball playing Ryan, number 8, Drew DiMartino. Lance designated hitter from Bucknell University, with baseball playing Cooper Olmo, number 21, Peter Barrett. At third base from Southeastern University, with Jackson Hand, number 39, Ivan Nunez. The shortstop from Madison College, number 5, Ryan McNeil. Left fielder from the University of Pennsylvania, number 2, Kyle Trump. Right fielder from Southern Connecticut State University, number 4, Vicente Mendoza. And starting catcher from Amherst College, number 19, Severino Simeone. And your starting pitcher from Fairfield University, number 35, Bryson Cafaro. At the time, ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats while we honor America. Please welcome to the next national anthem, Assistant General Manager of the Pittsfield Suns, Brian Flack. So say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we gave you at the twilight's last gleaming, with broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave over the land of the free and the home of the brave?
The national anthem. Great rendition there from Assistant General Manager Brian Flagg. And with the national anthem being sung, we are minutes away and moments away from Pittsfield Suns baseball. Once more through the starting lineup for the Worcester Bravehearts.
Leading off, Chris Rinaldi, Edward House bats second. Michael Delacari hits third. Dustin Harris gets the nod at cleanup with Brent Koffel hitting fifth. Kirk Sidwell bats sixth with Joseph Pesci hitting seventh. John Hansen will bat eighth. The order is finished off by Will Lucas, and they will go to bat against Bryson Cafaro.
Cafaro, the lefty, going to be hurling to Simeone, the veteran catcher. Going from third to first, continuing the defensive alignment, you have Nunez, McHale, DiMartino, Hughes, and from left to right, Cronk, White, Mendoza. Outfield dimensions here, Paul outfield at Wacona Park come as follows: 310 feet down the left field line, 377 in straightaway left. Slides in by 3 feet at 374 in dead center field. The power alley 403 sits in right center field. That is the deepest part of the ballpark. And down the right field line, 305. And right now for the Suns, really the big thing for them is riding momentum. They really need to make sure that they ride the momentum, but don't rely on the momentum.
Indeed. And it should be also a bit more consistent, a bit about consistency as well, Billy. Like was said earlier, at least before the All-Star game, the team had things where like come out, score a couple runs in the top of the first, and then go on to lose 4-2 or something along those lines. It needs to be momentum, but it also needs to be consistency as well.
That's very true. And now again for the Suns, facing off against the Worcester Bravehearts for the tail end of a doubleheader. They face off against Worcester. Nearly had a complete game shutout effort out of almost all-star Gage Feeney. His last start really did him in, or 2 starts rather, before the all-star break did him in. But it was a phenomenal outing by the veteran Gage Feeney, throwing 92 total pitches, 67 for strikes. They only gave up 1 earned run, and of course, that was in the bottom of the 9th. So we're going to start off with the top of the first, and to begin this ballgame will be the designated hitter, number 4, Chris Rinaldi.
Look at Rinaldi, a 368 hitter. He's got 1 homer with 15 RBI, 13 walks to 24 strikeouts. And a true bona fide hitter. Billy, look out for him if he gets on bases, with 11 stolen bases in 11 attempts this season.
First pitch is in there for a called strike. This ballgame starting off at 5:02 p.m. And the count is 0-1. Cafaro, quick pace with a breaking ball. Called strike on the outside corner. A great deceptive breaking ball from Cafaro. It's 0-2. A pretty windy and cloudy day here in Pittsfield. Here's the 0-2. Tries to backdoor him again with a fastball, however. But this one runs too far outside, trying to make him chase. The count to Rinaldi is 1-2. Here's a windup and the 1-2. Big kind of miss there for strike 3. That will do it, Rinaldi, for the first out of the ball game.
Inside out swing at that. No real idea of what was coming. Cafaro picks a great time to throw him a moving pitch and brings him up on a swinging strike.
Now we'll bring up the second baseman, number 3, Edward.
The All-Star hitting .400 at the moment with 15 RBI. He's walked 14 times to just 3 strikeouts on the season, so he's been dauntingly efficient this season, Billy.
Especially when you have an average of 400. Yes, that is very, very true. Here's the first pitch to him. This one misses high and away for a ball, 1-0.
In fact, looking at his line, he himself is debatably a true bona fide leadoff hitter, with the only thing to distinguish him from Chris Rinaldi being that Rinaldi has far more stolen bases.
Pitch hits the outside corner, called strike. Now 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 man gone, just getting underway here in Pittsfield.
I'm not sure if House is checking the location on these pitches or whatnot, because that's both times I saw him look back at Mark Irish, and I think he was asking hey, where was that one a strike or where was that one a ball? And then he would nod after Irish apparently told him.
That last pitch, a fastball, called strike on the outside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes here. So Edward House, the All-Star. Cafaro. Waiting for the sign, now has it. Slow windup, the 1-2. Breaking ball, that one misses outside. Maybe it's at high as well. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cafaro getting the sign again. And now the 2-2. Inside out swing, push to right field. Shallow right, coming in as a right fielder. He's going to have to play it on a hop. Mendoza not able to get there in time. Will go down for a base hit.
Talk about hardcore Bermuda Triangle. I don't think we've seen anyone quite like that this season. This one placed on a dime there in shallow right and able to get House onto first on a wacky base hit.
This will be the first lefty versus lefty matchup here tonight, as the right fielder number 15, Michael Delacari, will dig in from the left-handed batter's box.
Power hitting Delacari, a 322 hitter, 6 homers on the season, second on the team. He's driven in 28 runs, which beats out Brent Koffel and Dustin Harris for best on the team by 1. However, he's also struck out 23 times, which is third on the team. So very much a feast or famine type guy.
Pitch was outside corner with a curve, and that one's in there, called strike. No balls, 1 strike, 1 man gone, as with the pitch, Cafaro fires as this one curves. Good thing it did. Otherwise, that would have been a hit by pitch. Runs inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Now the 1-1. Hot shot over to second. This could be 2. Demo throws over to short for 1. McHale to first. That one is not in time.
Yeah, the throw was a little bit higher, otherwise he would have rung him up at first.
So that will go down as a fielder's choice for 6. And now bring up the first baseman, number 21, Dustin Harris.
Harris, a healthy 310 hitter. He's got 2 triples, along with 27 RBI on the season, tied for second on the team. He's walked 11 times to 12 strikeouts.
From the stretch, Cafaro has a sign with 2 man gone, as this one's ripped past the first baseman. Hughes goes into shallow right. The grass is cutting it down. DiMartino's going to have to pick this one up. And now there's runners on the corners on the single into shallow right.
How hard this thing was hit. I feel like the grass itself cutting it down stopped it from really getting over there to right field. And actually, it ends up working against the Suns because it allows Delicari to advance on to third as opposed to holding up at second.
Now here's the catcher number 24, Brett Koffel.
Looking at Brent Koffel on the season, a .290 hitter. He's blasted 4 times with a tied for second on the team in 27 RBI. Second on the team with 18 walks. He's also struck out 14 times.
Looks like it's actually number 20, Brett Koffel, a uniform change, as here's a pitch. Just misses the upper outside corner for a ball. Count is 1-0. From the stretch, Cafaro checks the runner on first, and the 1-0. I want to change up, misses high and away, now 2-0. Taking his time there is Koffel. Now he'll dig back in. Cafaro from the stretch. Checks first, and the 2-0. Slapped down the right field line, foul. Now the count here is 2 balls and 1 strike. So foul ball makes it now 2 balls, 1 strike. 2-man gone, 2-man on. Runners on the corners. A bit of a jam here for Cafaro early on. He will set from the stretch. Cafaro checks Harris as the runner goes. The pitch is swung on. And on the hit and run attempt, it's fouled back. And now it's Deuce's wild time.
Try on a hit and run there with runners in the corners and 2 away because a hard enough base hit could have brought 2 runs in on that play. Not really much to risk either, as there was only 1 strike on the count on the time.
So now this will bring up a 2 ball, 2 strike, 2 out count with runners on the corners. And the 2-2. Swung on a miss for strike 3. The tag is applied, and that will end the threat as Cafaro retires all 3 outs with no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left. We're going to stay here and give you now the starting lineup for your Pittsfield Suns as we head to the bottom of the first with no score.
Leading off, Alexander White, Thomas Hughes hits second. Drew DiMartino, affectionately known as Demo, will bat third. Cleanup goes to Peter Marin. Ivan Nunez hits fifth with Brian McHale batting sixth. Kronk will bat seventh, followed up by Vicente Mendoza. And Severino Simeone will fill up the order, and then we'll go to bat against Jake Sanderson.
Sanderson going to be hurling to his backstop catcher, Brett Koffel, the All-Star. From third to first, you have Hanson, Lucas, House, Harris. And from left to right, Sidwell, Pesci, Delicari.
And Billy, looking at Sanderson's line, it looks like the Bravehearts may be trying to stretch him out a little bit because he's been pretty effective for them so far, but just hasn't given them at least a ton of innings so far. So you wonder what kind of leash he'll be on and how many pitches he'll be allowed to throw today. That is assuming whether or not the Bravehearts deem him to be stretched out well enough or not.
For the visiting Worcester Bravehearts, they come out in their road blue uniforms, white Worcester embroidered with a lime green on the front, with the same thing for their numbers on the left abdomen in white. On the back, you have last names and numbers on the back in white. Gray pants with a green trim down the side, a blue cap, blue brim with the Worcester W logo and cap insignia. Pittsfield Suns, home whites today. Black Suns embroidered with yellow on the front, red numbers on the left abdomen. Black numbers embroidered with yellow on the back. White pants with a red trim down the side. Black cap, black brim with a Suns P logo as the cap insignia there. Sanderson looking to come out of the gate. A couple more warm-up pitches. And he's going to go against Alexander White, who resides in center field. We're used to seeing him in left, but again, as an outfielder, it's not out of the realm of possibility where you might see him moved around, let alone anyone in this league being moved around to any in particular position. Let's say the man that's going to bat second, Thomas Hughes, now at first.
Well, look, the one good thing about having Alexander White in center is you can't really demolish that wall at the center field wall. I don't really think he could do that, although, I guess we don't know that for sure, do we?
So White going to dig in here as Sanderson already has the sign. With a nod and exhale, he's going to wind and deal the first pitch. This one well outside. 1-0.
That's going to channel our inner Bob Uecker on that one. Anyway, instead, I think we're going to have a look at Alexander White's line. A 263 hitter, a homer, 6 RBI, 19 walks, second on the team to 22 strikeouts.
The pitch just missed low and outside. Maybe more outside than low. Here's a 2-0. This one a hot shot between third and short. It is going to be Hansen who gloves. A throw over to first. Let's see. Did he get him? Yes, he did. His foot and toe did hold the bag, so that'll be a 5-3 put out.
Yeah, strong throw, but a little bit off the mark. Almost taking the first baseman off the bag entirely. But it was just accurate enough where they were able to get the put out.
The now first baseman, number 30, full-on utility man, nearly every position, Thomas Hughes.
Thomas Hughes could stand to improve his batting line a little bit, hitting just 186, a homer with 9 RBI, walking and striking out 10 times on the year.
Well, that pitch was, we'll say it, just a bit outside.
We've seen a couple of those so far here in the very, very early going.
Just a bit overthrown there. As this one, a bit underthrown. That one goes up and in, and that one is going to be a hard-hit fastball that gets Hughes a little up. This will bring up the second baseman, number 8, Drew DiMartino, the All-Star.
Even watching that, I kind of recoiled at that myself. That one, that's going to leave a mark in the morning. We're looking at DiMartino again. We call him Demo up here from time to time up in the booth. A 278 hitter, a couple homers, with 18 RBI so far. He's walked 9 times to 21 strikeouts.
Pitch hits the lower outside corner, just barely. Sanderson, Peyton the Black. The count now is 0-1. He was going to lead off first with a very healthy lead over at first. Harris holding him on. Infield set at double play depth. Here is the 0-1. A cut and miss there from DiMartino as this one misses up, but he swings. Does not make contact. No balls, 2 strike, 1 man gone.
Hughes 2 for 2 in stolen bases in the season, so not out of the realm of possibility that he could try.
In a slow approach from the stretch, as here is a runner going. The pitch is outside. Throw to second is not in time. Yes, in time. Excuse me.
Yeah, that
I did not
one.
see that. I thought the tag was in front of Hughes, or he swiped too early, but he did not. That's my mistake. 2-6 on the caught stealing.
Yeah, tough one for Hughes. It looked like he broke at the right time, and he had a good enough lead. He just simply wasn't fast enough to beat out a strong throw.
Pitch misses upstairs. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes with now 2 men gone as the hit by pitch is erased with a caught stealing.
Rubbing salt in the wound, or so to say.
Now the 2-2 here from Sanderson. That one bounces in. That's not going to do any favors for his pitch count, let alone the pitch count here to DiMartino as it's now full.
And again, Sanderson struggling to give the Bravehearts a lot of innings, although the ones he has given them have been decent. This has got to be a point of contention for him so far.
Well, he's going to continue to contend. He hits a batter and walks a batter. Now this will bring up the DH number 21, Peter Marin.
We haven't seen Marin DH for the Suns too much this season. Looking at his line on the season, a 297 hitter, driven in just 3 runs with just 2 walks on top of 15 strikeouts. So not the best ratios. He will get the start, however, hitting cleanup.
Pitch. That one's a little chin music, runs high and tight. Count here is 1-0.
No, Billy, I don't think we've seen Marin hit cleanup this season before, I don't believe.
Not at home, at least. Here's the 1-0. That one's in there, a called strike. Now 1 ball, 1 strike.
And with the lack of power numbers and only driven in a couple of runs, it's an interesting decision to see him hitting cleanup to me.
8 balls to only 4 strikes thus far, but still 2 men gone. The 1-1 outside corner on the generous call. Now the count here is 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Well, Billy, we have good cloud cover today, but we are expecting some nasty weather later today, so I suppose
for just full 9, no delays. Sun, rain, anything. 1-2. Again, well outside in the dirt. That one a 50-footer as it gets away. That is the true definition of wild on pitch.
I've seen a number of those true wild pitches this inning. This really has to settle in at the mound.
That's the first official wild pitch, albeit there's been 3 of them. Well, 4, excuse me, the hit by pitch. But the other 3 ones that were in the dirt were well outside.
Metaphorically wild, we'll say.
No, everything but the actual count on wild pitches. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 men gone, a man on second. Time is called. I almost thought it was a balk, excuse me. Marin called time before the pitch. The runner on second again, 2-2-2. Juice is wild here for Sanderson as he lifts and deals. 2-2 is blasted deep to left. Going back is Sidwell, and he's going to get underneath this one and make the catch to end the inning.
Hard hit, but a true atom ball.
No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 man left. We completed 1 inning of play. No score between the Pittsfield Suns and the Worcester Bravehearts. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Safety is a family effort. Being safe and sound should be everyone's priority. In times like these, theft and violence can strike anywhere. Protect your family. Keep your home well lighted and always lock doors and windows. Installing alarms adds an extra level of protection. Never leave valuables in plain sight. To learn more about protecting your home and family, visit ncpc.org or contact your local law enforcement agency.
A message from the U.S. Department of Justice, National Crime Prevention Council, and the Ad Council.
Exercise is hard. So is maintaining a healthy diet. Of course, neither is half as hard as dying. Sadly, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and stroke kill nearly 1 million people a year. Even sadder, most of these deaths are preventable with a few lifestyle changes, including regular activity, healthier eating, and not smoking. Talk to your doctor about your risk for type 2 diabetes and heart disease. And if your doctor recommends lifestyle changes or medication, listen. The reason so many die is because not enough are willing to change. You can stop it, starting right now. It's your life. Listen to your doctor. Eat better. Get moving. Visit checkupamerica.org or call 1-800-DIABETES. A message from the American Diabetes Association.
Top of the second, and it'll be the left fielder number 11, Kirk Sidwell, the number 6 batter, going to dig in and lead off.
Sidwell flashing .307, a trio of homers, 14 RBI to 7 walks with 14 strikeouts on the season.
Cafaro awaits the pit sign, has it, and now hurls this one, as this one is just tipped foul, first base side. Count here is 0-1.
Bravehearts with a couple of hits back in the top of the first, but unable to bring any runs home. You hope for the Suns' sake Cafaro can settle in a little bit at the mound.
With the line, the deal, as this one is chopped foul. This time, third base side. We'll make it now 0-2 to Kirk Sidwell here in the top of the second at Paul Dowd Field at Wacona Park in Pittsfield, Massachusetts. Pittsfield Suns hosting the visiting Worcester Bravehearts at the tail end of a home and home. Here's the 0-2. Well outside there. And the count here is 1-2. Cafaro fires. Curve just misses outside. Maybe a tad low. Either way, it's a ball. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Almost a devastating back door on that one, just an inch off the plate. A good pitch to throw on a 2-strike count.
Here's the 2-2. This one a little high this time, and now it rings it full at 3-2.
Again, another one right at the edge. Can't really beat around the bush now, though, on a 3-ball count.
Here's the payoff. Fastball deep to right center field. Charging as the center fielder, White. He won't get there. He will cut it off and make a strong throw into second, and holding Sidwell to a single.
Good play on White's end to track the ball down and prevent extra bases. Well hit ball from Sidwell, especially on a 3-2 count.
Now the center fielder, number 18, Joseph Pesci, will dig in.
Pesci hitting a clean .286. He's got a triple and a homer so far. driven in 17 runs. He's walked 9 times, also has 17 strikeouts.
Here's the first pitch. Hot shot past the diving McHale into left. And a throw in will hold now runners on first and second. Just a hard hit contact.
Continuing a troubling early trend. Cafaro gave up 2 hits back in the first already, 2 base hits here in the second. Being a little bit susceptible to giving up some contact here in the early going of the game.
The number 8 hitter, third baseman number 19, John Hansen.
Looking at Hansen, kind of struggling so far as he's hitting just 169. He is, however, opportunistic as he's driven in 10 runs, walking 13 times to 19 strikeouts. So at least when he does hit, it counts.
Pitch hits the upper outside corner. Now the count here is 0-1 with runners on first and second, nobody gone. Cafaro will set. Take a peek at Sidwell at second. Twice now. And the 0-1. Curve, and that one just misses low. Now 1 ball, 1 strike.
Seeing plenty of curve from Cafaro here in the early going and almost hitting the zone, almost throwing some amazing pitches, but of course almost doesn't really count for much in baseball.
Cafaro with a 1-1 count. This one is dropped low on the fastball. Now 2 balls, 1 strike. Cafaro waiting the sign here from his veteran backstop, Simeone. Now he has it. But time is called. From the stretch, here's a pitch. A check swing as the curveball misses low and in. No appeal, now 3-1. Cafaro with a repertoire of a fastball, curve, change, and slider. Going to be seeing a lot of those breaking balls here today. Here's the 3-1. This won't be one of them as that one's a fastball. He jettisons this one foul first base side. Now it's a full count with 3 balls and 2 strikes with nobody gone. It'd be very interesting if they send the runners here.
Very real possibility with no outs on the board. Looking like they're going to look at it, and there we go.
Runners will go as this one's low in the dirt. But they are not going to test it, so that'll be a walk, and that will load the bases. But there's nobody gone.
Well, running proves to be ultimately insignificant as Hansen's walk would have pushed them over anyhow.
And now this will bring up the number 9 hitter, shortstop number 46, Will Lucas.
Taking a look at Lucas on the season. Listed on the team's website as a pitcher. He does not have any batting statistics to this point in the season.
Pitch is in there for a called strike. Count is 0-1.
Looks like the Bravehearts could be experimenting with him at the moment.
Lucas, a true righty, 6'1", 185-pound, soon-to-be freshman at UConn with the Huskies. As the 0-1 is dropped low in the vertical plane.
Well, good time to give him a shot hitting. It's given about as good of a position as you could possibly get with the bases loaded and no outs. It would be really hard for him to not at least be the source of a run coming home at this point.
Here's a 1-1. Gets away from the catcher. That's going to bring in a run. Cafaro a little slow to the plate here, but that is going to score a run. It is 1-0 on the wild pitch by Cafaro.
Yeah, that one was tough. It looked like it like bounced right off of Simeone's leg, and that thing, serious friction to it as it went really, really far away to the point where the runners could have pretty much crawled home.
So the count here is now 2-1 with runners on second and third now. Here's the next pitch. Hot shot to the third baseman. Great glove. And Nunez, the all-star, will look him back. A throw over to first is in time. A great snare there defensively, and a good way to look him back there from Nunez.
Great fielding awareness from Nunez, stopping the runner from even thinking about trying to go home. And a great job picking up and out without allowing any more runs to score. No runners on first. He can't look for a ground ball to get out of the inning, so not out of the woods yet.
Here is the DH, number 4, Chris Rinaldi. Struck out swinging his first time up. The first pitch hits the inside corner, and he gets the call for a called strike, 0-1.
Rinaldi clearly fooled by that when he kind of lunged inside thinking the pitch was going to be farther inside, but it actually ends up being a called strike.
Cafaro, the 0-1. This one is hit in the air, foul first base side. Hughes will look this one over as it goes foul and out of play. Count is 0-2 here. Familiar sight against Chris Rinaldi as he had a 0-2 count. Saw a ball, then saw strike 3 swinging.
Big for history to repeat itself for Cafaro and the Suns. Trying to get out of a jam without allowing any more runs.
The 0-2. Swung on deep into center, going back is White. This may score a run. Let's see. The catch is made. A throw to third. They will defer there, but both runners will be safe. And that is a sacrifice fly for Chris Rinaldi. Now 2-0. The Bravehearts lead it.
Yeah, good. I don't really think they had a realistic shot of getting them at home as this thing was hit really, really, really deep. So really not getting much out of throwing on to third, but better to throw on to third than to throw on to home in that sort of situation.
Second baseman number 3, Edward House. He hit a single to right field his last time up. There's still a runner on, 90 feet away at third, and it's 2-0. Worcester leads. Here is the first pitch. Inside corner, a called strike, 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Misses up and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 men gone, but 2 runs in. 2-0 here in the top of the second. A windup. Pitch. Slow changeup, and it's in there for a called strike. Now 1 ball, 2 strikes with 2 men gone here for Cafaro. One, 2. Swung on in between third and short. It gets past Nunez as he defers that to the shortstop, McHale, who does not have the play. That'll go down as another single for Edward House, the RBI variety. It is now 3-0, Worcester.
Yeah, really a messy inning for Cafaro, giving up a lot of contact, a lot of base runners in general, and that one just unfortunately barely gets through the defense. 3 runs in the inning alone, all charged against Cafaro.
Right fielder number 15, Michael Delicari, grounded into a fielder's choice. He sees the first pitch in there, called strike, 0-1. Asking where it was.
Yeah.
Plate umpire Irish says inside corner, and a nod there from Delicari. Cafaro checking first. The runner does go. The 0-1, a hot shot going into left center field. And that's going to go down for a base hit. And they're going to think more here. Now they're going to hold him up. And there is not going to be a play at second or home. That is another single. This one by Michael Delicari. Now runners on the corners yet again. And 2 men gone.
No matter who Worcester puts up at the plate, seems like everyone's having some type of success. 6 hits already, and we haven't finished 2 innings. Cafaro has been way too predictable so far, and it's really, really costing us. This team has been put behind the 8 ball early.
That being said, quick little coaching here from pitching coach Brandon Chalikas. And Dustin Harris is going to dig in here. He's a first baseman with a 1-bagger. And should he reach safely, the Bravehearts will have batted around. So on third is House. On first is Delacari. Runner goes, the pitch is upstairs for a ball. The throw not in time. The runner did not go from third. That will go down for a stolen base there for Delacari.
And picked a great pitch to run at Cafaro's slow breaking ball. If that had been anything faster, I'm pretty sure it would have been gunned down at second, but a great pitch to try to run at, and he gets into second easily as a result.
A 1-0 in there, called strike. Could not be more down the middle than that. He's got to be careful there. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 men gone, 2 men in scoring position. 3-0 already, the Bravehearts lead it.
Giving up 4 hits, facing the team's cleanup hitter. You are right, Billy. He has to be much more careful than that.
The 1-1. Curve. Misses on the inside corner high. 2 balls, 1 strike.
It's a really impressive curve, and I'm sure you'd agree with me on that, Billy, but he just hasn't been locating it in this one. He's got plenty of good movement. It's nice and slow. Doesn't hang too much. He just hasn't had the command on today.
The 2-1. This one slapped foul. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Really needs to find that out pitch here. It's been a very rough inning for him.
Two balls, 2 strikes. 2 gone. The pitch. Swung on, fouled off first base side. We'll go again from 2-2. And Harris a single. Pats the diving the diving Thomas Hughes at first. Now he's guarding the line. Here's a 2-2, high fly ball into center field. Going back is White towards the wall, and this one's gone.
Whoa.
Just carried, and ultimately goes over the wall for a big 3-run homer, and now this ball game's cracked wide open at 6-0 in only the second.
That's going to be Harris's first homer on the season, and he now takes the team lead in RBI. In fact, after that, he hits big 3-0 on his RBI total on the season. After a humongous crack shot, and Billy, you couldn't have play-by-played that any better. This thing just carries and carries and carries. It's very well hit. It's not hit very hard, but it's hit very high, and it has just enough carry on it to clear the wall. Oh boy, Cafaro's number line right now is not looking very pretty. And seven hits, 6 runs so far. Ouch.
Harris now breaks the tie with his teammate Brett Koffel and overtakes his teammate Delacari. Now sits in 3rd place behind Johnson and Freelick, who both have 35 RBI on the season. Here's a pitch to Brett Koffel, swung on, fouled out towards the Suns' dugout, and they scatter.
Well, it's going to be pretty hard for Cafaro to salvage this one. Already given up 6 runs, all in 1 inning. Yikes.
So 0-1 the count, 2 men gone. A big 3-run blast puts a 6th spot here in only the second. Cafaro with the 0-1. That one drops low for a ball, 1-1 as the Bravehearts have batted around here. Brett Koffel, the only man not to reach home plate, now does. Not being to take his hats.
Cafaro got to 2 outs. Only having given up 1 run, but plenty of 2-out hitting from the Bravehearts has really spelled its demise here in this inning.
Pitch there, called strike. Now 1 ball, 2 strikes.
We've always known Cafaro to be a guy who gives up a lot of base hits, though, Billy, and that's rung true in this inning, but we never really thought of him as a guy who gives up a ton of hard hit balls.
The 1-2 drop low. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 men gone.
And again, at 7 hits, 5 this inning. It's just been way, way, way too predictable.
And the deuces is down the left field line, but that one's going to ring foul. Would have been a homer.
Still would be if this was cricket.
Sixer, not a homer.
Touché.
So again, Cafaro. Now the 2-2. Low and outside. He does not want to lose Coughlin. He's already given up too much here this inning. It's a full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Sidwell, he began the inning with a single. He sits on deck here. Payoff. Swung on high in the air towards right. Underneath this is Mendoza. He will reach up and collect the final out of the inning as the Bravehearts bat around and place 6 on the board. That is a big number. That being 6 runs off of 5 hits, no errors, and nobody left. We head now to the bottom of the second, only an inning and a half in. It is already 6-0. The Bravehearts lead the Suns. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Too bad about radio.
Oh, what do you mean?
Well, since television, you know. Hardly anybody listens to radio anymore.
Oh, I wouldn't worry about that if I were you. There's a radio in use for every man, woman, and teenager in America.
Really? Gee, I'd hate to think of them all turning them on at once.
They do. Every morning.
Who listens to radio? That go where you go, medium called radio. That's with you every night through the long commuter fight, and in the morning with your toast and mama lady-o. Who listens to radio? No matter if it's summer, winter, spring, or fall. Who listens to radio? Only 150 million people. That's all.
They're your friends. They're your neighbors. They're even famous entertainers. They're teachers.
Okay, class, settle down. Open your book.
They're scientists and astronauts. They're hams. They're 650,000 strong, and they're just like you. Earning your amateur radio license is easy. Just contact the American Radio Relay League at 1-800-326-3942.
We head to the bottom of the second with the Suns already having a lot to catch up for. It's the third baseman, number 39, Ivan Nunez. He will dig in to lead off here the second.
Nunez, a .333 hitter, leading the team by far now, getting some distance between him and who was formerly there in Peter Marin. Nunez, 2 homers with 20 RBI, 16 walks to 11 strikeouts on the season.
Pitches yet again well outside here from Sanderson. Been seeing a lot of that here from him today. A lot of overthrown balls.
Well, he's got a pretty hefty cushion after the Bravehearts spotted him 6 runs, so he should use that cushion to just try and relax himself a little bit.
Well, that one, he's not going to have Nunez relax as well again. He always crowds the inside part of the plate. That one, if he didn't move, would have gotten him.
To be fair, Nunez always crowds that part of the plate, you know, so it's kind of on him there too.
Pitch is low and inside now, 3-0. Pitch is in there, called strike, 3-1.
You know, something I guess I've been wondering, Billy, and I know I talked to Nunez earlier this season, and I don't know why I never asked him this, but I never bothered to ask, why exactly does he do that?
Well, that next time for the interview, but in the meantime, he's going to walk away from this, walking, literally, and this will bring up the shortstop, number 5, Brian McHale.
The all-star infielder hitting .304 with a homer, driven in 14 runs with 14 walks to 19 strikeouts on the season, but his fielding troubles have been well renowned for him as he leads the team by far with 11 fielding errors this season.
Here's a pitch. Big cut and miss there. Count now here is 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Oh, a little high and tight again here from Sanderson. Count is now 1 ball, 1 strike. The righty Sanderson from the stretch. The 1-1. This one shaded going into right field. Underneath this one is Delicari. He will make the catch with the leather.
This one kind of in on Mikhail's hands, almost like towards the base of the bat. Good contact and good timing, but just not well placed on his bat, and it had no real chance of accomplishing anything.
Left fielder number 2, Kyle Cronk, will dig in.
Cronk turning things around slowly but surely, hitting .241, a round tripper with 8 runs driven in, walking 8 times to 20 strikeouts on the season.
Pitch missed outside, 1-0.
And Billy, with how somewhat inefficiently effective Sanderson has been on the mound, it's surprising to me he hasn't walked more than he has to this point.
This one's a chopper to short. This could be 2. Lucas over to House for 1, over to Harris, and that one is in time. So
Very
that will
close.
be a 6-4-3 double play to end the inning. As in the inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. We head through 2 full to the top of the third. 6-0. It is the Worcester Bravehearts all over the Suns. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Are you prepared in the event of a disaster? I'm Jim Cantori, reminding you that the best way to make your family safer is to be prepared before disaster strikes. First, build a disaster supply kit with enough supplies for each family member for at least 3 days. Next, make a family communication or evacuation plan. Finally, stay informed. Listen to local radio and TV reports when disasters are imminent. For more information on how you can be Red Cross ready, contact your local American Red Cross chapter or visit redcross.org.
So here's my cell phone number, my husband's cell phone number, and here's the number to the grandparents. The number of the restaurant we'll be at, it's just down the block. And I told the neighbors you were here, so if anything happens, anything at all, don't hesitate to call. And what's your cell phone number again? I don't think I put that in.
Honey,
What?
Honey, he'll be fine. Okay, let's go.
I know you're right.
The odds of a babysitter calling 911, 1 in 1,400. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism, 1 in 150. You know the odds of autism. Now learn some of the signs. No big smiles or other joyful expressions by 6 months. No back and forth sharing of sounds or facial expressions by 9 months. And no babbling by 12 months. To learn more of the signs and more about autism, visit autismspeaks.org. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
It'll be the top of the third, and the man that led off last inning will lead off this inning. That being left fielder number 11, Kirk Sidwell.
Brutal.
Go ahead.
A brutal inning last time around from Cafaro. You can't imagine he's going to get too much more of a leash at this point. In fact, Billy, we determined that he was only 1 pitch away from being completely ineligible to come out for this inning to begin with. I believe you said he's thrown 57 pitches.
Here's a pitch. That one is low and in the dirt for a ball, 1-0. Last inning, he threw 39 pitches. If he threw 40 or more in one inning, he would have to be replaced the very next inning. 1 pitch away from being replaced. Here's the 1-0. Hot shot foul well behind us. And that one's going to careen off the fence and stay in the ballpark.
That's going to be a tough call for Matt Gedman, as he did give up 6 runs in the top of the second. So you don't want to let him really make this game unwinnable for the Suns, but at the same time, you also don't want to deplete your bullpen in the early going of the game.
That's very true, but left fielder number 11, Kirk Sidwell, now sees a 2-1 pitch to lead this inning off. As the pitch, that one bounces in, and now it's 3-1. The wind really whipping here.
It's kind of pleasant for us up here, but I can't imagine it's too pleasant for Cafaro, who's struggled to locate even without any wind down there.
3-1. Hot shot towards Nunez. The all-star third baseman will grab it. Throw over to first, and a great pick there from the utility infielder, Thomas Hughes.
Great throw from Nunez. Very strong, fast throw onto Hughes with a great pick at first. That combines to get him out by, probably about a half a step.
Center fielder number 18, Joe Pesci. A single to left his last time up. The wind is really whipping, at least up here.
And again, Billy, I at least find that to be kind of pleasant.
It is, as this pitch wasn't that pleasant, as that one was low and inside.
But yeah, again, you have to figure that it's hindering Cafaro down there, who's already struggled with his command, even with there being no wind. Hinder at least somewhat down there.
Pitch hits the outside corner. Now 1 ball, 1 strike.
Not hindering that pitch. Pretty much just straight business on that one. Shame we haven't seen more of that from Cafaro today.
Now the 1-1 runs high and in. 2 balls and 1 strike with 1 man gone here in the top of the third. Here's a pitch. This one, a slow curve. It's a pop-up, shallow pop-up that is, right over to DiMartino at second.
A couple of back-to-back outs after a horrendous top of the second. Cafaro may be settling in on the mound, although we've still seen some, not official, but I think you'd call them wild pitches in the sense that they've been well up the plate. We've seen some of those this inning, so I'm not too sure at the moment.
Third baseman number 19, John Hansen, walked and later scored a run. No at-bats yet. Here is the pitch. A hot shot jettisoned out into right center field. That one's going to drop, go past the center and right fielders, going all the way to the wall. And now Hansen is going to think 3, but thinks wisely and does not think further of it. So that is going to be a hot shot double, and 2-out double that be for Hansen into right center field.
Hansen not wasting any time. First pitch rockets this thing down to the power alley over there in right center field. A very hard hit ball. By no means is that the first hard hit ball Cafaro's given up today, and he's really at risk of making this game borderline unwinnable.
He will step off and get the sign here against the shortstop number 44, Will Lucas. Here is the pitch. Beautiful curve there from Cafaro, and they're called strike 1-1. So the pitches that are not officially wild pitches, I think we'll just say untamed.
Good one. That's
Here's
a good
the
one.
pitch. Misses high and away. Now 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 men gone.
How do I score that, Billy, do you think?
A UT?
Yeah, there you go.
I love the unison here.
Yeah.
Here's the 1-0. Curve. Just misses the inside corner. 2 balls and 1 strike.
That may be, in general, the curve may be Cafaro's best pitch today, but again, Billy just hasn't located that. There have been some times where it's been really close, but just hasn't been able to find the clutch on that pitch, if you will.
Cafaro with the 2-1. That one runs inside. Called strike. Kind of fooled Lucas there a little bit more than expected. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 men gone, and the man on second via double. How more deuces wild can you get?
If he was number 2 at the plate or something. Maybe a catcher.
He's 46, so 6 minus 4 equals.
No. Just
Cafaro gets the sign and the pitch. Curve, hot shot into center field for a base hit. They're going to round the runner, and let's see, the throw home is going to be cut off. An RBI single by Will Lucas in his first game as a batter on the Worcester Bravehearts squad, and now it is 7-0.
You've got pitchers rocketing shots off of you and driving in runs. That's how you really know you just don't have it today. And he just does not have it today. 7 earned in not quite 3 innings completed. Surprised that they're not getting anyone up in the bullpen, but there must be some serious stressor on preserving their arms.
Here's a pitch. Right in there, a called strike. Count here is 0-1 to Chris Rinaldi, 0-for-1 with the sacrifice flies last time up. Must be confused by that 3-quarter hurl there from Cafaro for both batters because, well, those weren't even close to being well inside as the 0-1 is in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 men gone. A run in.
Kind of a 50, like 6 or 7 footer on that one.
Let's break out the yardstick and find out.
Yeah, I'll just ask him to call timeout while I go do that. Great idea.
1-1. Beautiful curve there from Cafaro in there, called strike. Now 1-2.
That may have been the best pitch we've seen Cafaro thrown all day. Finally getting that one to fall where he wants it. Billy, if he could have just done that half the time, he wouldn't be in the mess that he's in now.
Runner goes, a pitch outside, throw over to second is not in time.
I mean, you might look at that 7-0 deficit there and say, like, well, why are you pushing guys across with a 7-run lead? But it is early enough in the game where, we're certainly not saying anything's over now. So not a bad idea to push a guy over with there being 2 outs on the board. Is now a decently enough base hit can further the lead.
The 1-2 hits the inside corner, called strike 3, and that will ring up Rinaldi. So 1 run off of 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left. We head now through 2.5 to the bottom of the third, but the Bravehearts, they continue to increase their lead, now 7-0. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball, the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
You suffer from the heartbreak of brain rot, feeling bored, sluggish, listless, not had a new idea in days, using electronic gizmos without a clue why they work. Now there's help. Ham radio, guaranteed to stimulate your corroding neurons and open a whole new world of excitement. To learn more about ham radio, go to helloradio.org.
Side effects of ham radio usage include mental stimulation, desire for education, new career paths, understanding of technology, and cases of addiction have been reported. If you experience any of these symptoms, you're welcome.
Ham radio. It's not your granddaddy's radio anymore.
Did you know the 3rd leading cause of fire deaths for older adults is cooking? Hi, I'm Rob Neal from the United States Fire Administration with important fire safety tips for seniors. Never leave cooking unattended because a serious fire can start in seconds. Don't wear loose clothing while cooking. Keep towels and pot holders away from the range. Double check the kitchen before you go to bed or leave your home. This message is brought to you by the United States Fire Administration, your local fire department, and this radio station.
We head to the bottom of the third, and the 2 men that have not taken hacks here today, the right fielder number 4, Vicente Mendoza, the catcher number 19, and Severino Simeone, as well as the leadoff hitter will bat against center fielder number 6, Alexander White. Those men are up, 2 up like and on deck.
They're up just like your paper is.
Yeah, Andrew, you have the call.
Looking at Mendoza on the season, a 185 hitter, driven in 2 runs to 11 walks. He's also struck out 21 times on the season. As it looks like he takes a called strike on that one. And now bring the call to 0-2. There you go. You're back.
That pitch is low for a ball. I believe it's now 1-2, as the first pitch was. I'm not going to let you go again, paper. First pitch, I wasn't there to see it. What was it? Called strike? Swing and strike?
Called. Both called.
Called ball, now 1-2. Not sure how the wind whipped up and got my paper there because I had it, paper weighted down. It still got away. 1-2, barely misses the outside corner.
I'm going to do a more thorough job with that paperweight.
Yeah, me.
There you go. That's not a bad idea.
Here's a pitch. Goes out to the second baseman, House. Throw to first, and that's the first out of the inning. Catcher number 19, Severino Simeone.
Simeone hitting a absolutely ghastly 119 so far. That's a total of 5 for 42. Driven in 2 runs on the season, 3 walks to 13 strikeouts. I don't see him too much in the lineup, though, Billy.
Mier has been really the number 1 catcher for the Suns, as this one's fouled off.
And Mier generating pretty much almost all of their starts at the backstop, just seeming to be getting a day off today. A well-deserved one at that.
The 0-1, and there, called strike. No balls, 2 strikes, and 1 man gone. This one big cut and miss there from Simeone, and his drop continues now with a big cut and miss, and he's down by every fashion of a strike. Fouled, called, and swung.
Not a pretty at-bat for Simeone. Really trying to make something happen, but one swing is not going to turn around that twisted number on the scoreboard there, and ultimately he learns that the hard way, going down on 3 strikes.
This one flared foul first base side. And someone almost caught it, but he eventually gets it. Fouled off 0-1. Pitch just misses the lower outside corner. Count is 1 ball, 1 strike. Looks like someone warming up in the pen, at least stretching, that is. We'll figure out who that is in a moment. The 1-1 kicks up some dirt. Count is 2-1. Sanderson with the 2-1. This one, a hot shot, headed over to first base. Overhand throw to the pitcher. He'll step on first, and that will end the inning. So a 3-1 put out ends it with a 1-2-3 inning. For the first third of the ball game, in this inning at least, there's no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We head now to the top of the 4th with the Bravehearts all over the Suns by a score of 7-0. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
I have a passion for the environment. That's why I serve in the United States Coast Guard. We monitor commercial vessels, making sure our ports and waterways are safe and clean from oil or other hazardous material. We patrol our fisheries, protect marine wildlife and their habitats. With all we do, it's about protecting America.
Were you born ready to protect America? Learn more at gocoastguard.com.
Sponsored by the United States Coast Guard in cooperation with the Massachusetts Broadcasters Association and this station.
You suffer from the heartbreak of brain rot, feeling bored, sluggish, listless, not had a new idea in days, using electronic gizmos without a clue why they work. Now there's help. Ham radio, guaranteed to stimulate your corroding neurons and open a whole new world of excitement. To learn more about ham radio, go to helloradio.org.
Side effects of ham radio usage include mental stimulation, desire for education, new career paths, understanding of technology, and cases of addiction have been reported. If you experience any of these symptoms, you're welcome.
Ham radio. It's not your granddaddy's radio anymore.
Getting your child home safely.
Tap your views together 3 times.
Is just a click away.
There's no place like home.
But making sure your child is in the right seat is just one of the steps down the road to safer travels.
I don't know how it works.
Find the right seat for your little one's age and size. There's no better way to get home safely. Know for sure that your child is in the right seat.
How can I ever thank you enough?
Get all the facts at safercar.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball, the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. Billy Madewell, Andrew Belargin, Paul Downfield at Wacona Park in Pittsfield, Massachusetts. We head to the top of the 4th, and the visiting Worcester Bravehearts are all over the Pittsfield Suns by a score of 7-0. And we're going to start off the top of the 4th with a bit of role reversal. Andrew's going to have the call, and I will be your color commentator.
Well, looking at it, the Suns got a guy warming up in the pen, and, well, we are just going to have our reliever come in immediately. And the first pitch to Edward House, high for a ball, 1-0. House, perfect 2 for 2 so far. He drove in a run and singled and came around to score last time in the second. A grisly inning for the Suns defense. They were hoping to not repeat. Here comes the second pitch, low and possibly a bit inside for another ball, 2-0.
Looking at for the Pittsfield Suns right now in the pen, it looks like that's Bradley Hughes going to come out for his second day. If he comes out again, he had the last 2/3 of an inning in yesterday's game.
2 on the way, and oh boy, are we going to call that one an untamed pitch there, Billy, or maybe an untamed?
Just inside, and it got away from Simeone off his glove. Not untamed, but unkempt or uncaught.
Okay. In any case, it results in a ball now, 3-0. Going to be sitting dead right on this one, well down the middle for a called strike. Now 3 balls, 1 strike. I was trying to get aboard on first, but we'll have to wait at least one more pitch in order to do so. 3-1 on the way, and that one called strike. House trotting over to first, thinking it was going to be outside, and even There's some words from Mark Irish, the home plate umpire, but
that looked like more of an apology with the body language. He said that was outside corner, up my bad. He nodded.
I think that he was a bit too jumpy.
Premature,
Yes. 3-2 on the way, and this one swung on, and that's going to be up the left part of the infield for a base hit. Pretty easily done for House as he draws up Cafaro's pitch count and then simply just rocket the pitch through the middle left part of the infield for a leadoff base hit here in the 4th inning. And that's going to bring up right fielder Michael Delacari 1 for 2. He had a fielder's choice in the 1st inning. He also singled back in the 2nd, stole a base, and ultimately came around to score. He now comes in with a runner on 1st and no outs. Participated in the home run derby in this year's All-Star game as the first pitch. Oh boy, a beautiful curve. That one easily clipping the plate for a called strike 1. Waiting on the 0-1. Looks like Cafaro has the sign, and here comes the pitch. That one another slow curve, but this one well outside. A ball 1, make it even 1-1.
That again, he just tried to go indoor, or front door that is, then back door, both with the curve again in this lefty versus lefty matchup. So pretty common to see in a lefty versus lefty matchup with a couple breaking balls.
1-1 on the way, and that one, the ground ball could be 2. The throw on to second is out, but they won't try for first. That one's just going to simply go down as a fielder's choice.
So yeah, just a slowly hit ground ball, especially with the high grass here at Wacona Park. McHale, only one play to make over to DiMartino, so not even going to even think throwing over to first and get Delacari out.
So that's going to go down as a 6-4 fielder's choice, and well, Delacari simply replaces House over there at first, and that will yield way to Dustin Harris. And oh boy. Yes, last time Dustin Harris was up, he put one over the wall, a 3-run jack. Back in the 2nd, he also singled on his first pitch, taken back in the 1st as he sees his first pitch here. Outside for a ball, not quite going to replicate his last time up, at least with a pitch like that. But yeah, proven that if he gets a bat on the ball, he can do some damage. He sees the 1-0 pitch. That one inside for a ball now, 2-0. Going outside, then in, but finding success in neither location against Dustin Harris. It is reasonable that Cafaro is beating around the bush with Harris after he absolutely destroyed a ball from back in the 2nd inning.
You don't want to pitch around him either way, but then again, you don't want to give him a meatball as always.
Correct, as he sees a 2-0 right now. That one a little bit outside and possibly a little low, as Harris is going to see a 3-0 ball, and well, he's obviously going to be red lighting this one, with the Bravehearts being up 7-0 on the 3-0 count. So this might not be a terrible time for Cafaro to throw a meatball with it being a 3-0 count. It's a 3-0. Runner is going to be on to second. It's going to be a called strike. Throw on to second is going to be, well high, as he's easily going to scoot in there onto second base. It's going to be a stolen base there for Delacari and a called strike for Dustin Harris. Interesting that the Bravehearts are still pushing the envelope up 7 runs, but it is early enough where, it's not a terrible decision to be made. The runner on second now, a 3-run count. Here comes the 3-1. That one swung on and fouled off, going back to the Worcester dugout, but not quite getting into the dugout. And I'm not quite sure where that ball went off to, but thrown on. They're taking care of it down there. As Harris will now see a full count pitch with a runner in scoring position. Still having trouble with that paper there, Billy.
Yeah, my defensive alignment paper really wants to get out there to the outfield itself.
Full count on the way to Harris, as this one's again fouled off. Get close to the backstop at that one. Harris fighting to stay alive, trying to further the Worcester lead with a runner in scoring position. We'll go again from a full count with 1 out on the board, a runner in scoring position. Dustin Harris 2 for 2 again on the day, trying to make it 3 for 3, or at least retaining his 2 for 2 stance. As here comes the pitch. This one, a called strike 3. A bit of a generous call at that, but still one that Cafaro will dearly appreciate. And you will ring Dustin Harris up on that full count strikeout. Called strike. Make it now 2 outs on the board with a runner in scoring position, and that will give way to Brent Koffel. Koffel 0 for 2 on the day. In fact, yes, he is the only, actually no, he is not the only Worcester starter to not record a base hit. He is one of only 2, with the other one being Chris Rinaldi. Koffel 0 for 2 on the day. He flew out to right his last time up on a full count pitch.
That strikeout was generous, but also late, but still a strikeout.
First pitch is going to be high and maybe a little bit outside as well. Make it now 1-0. if it's trying not to squander an opportunity with a runner in scoring position, although they do have plenty of a margin of error, up by 7 runs at the moment. 1-0 pitch on the way. And that one going to be well outside. Really just didn't break on that one, as it's going to make it a 2-0 count. Easy take for Koffel.
Looks like Hughes is pretty much ready. They're going to bring him out, if not this inning, if it continues to squander the pitching that is, but next inning, more than likely.
2-0 on the way, and this one's going to be high for a ball now. 3-0. Makes me wonder how much of a leash Gaffaro has. It seems as though he's clearly going to be replaced pretty soon. Having a look at his pitch count at the moment. He is actually at 96 pitches, Billy, so he will definitely be taken out after this inning, as, of course, by FCBL rule, he cannot go another inning. That's the 3-0s on the way. This one's going to be outside for a 4-pitch walk now. That will put another runner on.
And another pitcher in. Getty's going to come out. That's really got to do it. It's just not his day.
No, clearly not. Giving up 7 earned, giving up another base runner. So that's going to do it for Gaffaro, who will hit the showers early. Not the most inspiring of performances, but it seems like Thomas Hughes is ready to come in to pick up the pieces. And so, or rather Bradley Hughes, excuse me. So we will come back in a minute with Bradley Hughes' stats and whatnot as he tries to record the last out of the inning. That will do it for Bryson Gaffaro. We'll be back in a moment here on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
So here's my cell phone number, my husband's cell phone number, and here's the number to the grandparents. The number of the restaurant we'll be at, it's just down the block. And I told the neighbors you were here, so if anything happens, anything at all, don't hesitate to call. And what's your cell phone number again? I don't think I put that in.
Honey,
what?
Honey, he'll be fine. Okay, let's go.
I know you're right.
The odds of a babysitter calling 911, 1 in 1,400. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism, 1 in 150. You know the odds of autism. Now learn some of the signs. No big smiles or other joyful expressions by 6 months. No back and forth sharing of sounds or facial expressions by 9 months. And no babbling by 12 months. To learn more of the signs and more about autism, visit autismspeaks.org. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Looking at that, we have a new pitcher in the ballgame. That's going to be Bradley Hughes for the Suns. Hughes off to a rough, rocky beginning for his Suns career in 5 appearances out of the pen. Only 4 1/3 covered, giving up 8 hits, 11 runs, 8 of them earned, walking 10 to striking out just 1. A horrendous ratio at that. Taken 2 losses and actually somehow has a save on the ledger, but a humongous 16.61 ERA, clearly trying to lower that in today's contest, and it would take really a dreadful performance for him to not lower that one, as he will come on in relief for the starter Bryson Gaffaro. Again, Gaffaro's line is not finalized officially, at least. He's still responsible for the 2 men on base right now, but Gaffaro really just never had it today. He pitched 3 2/3, faced 23 batters, 7 earned runs on 10 hits. Yes, 10 hits. He also gave up 1 double and a homer, walked a couple and plunked a guy, striking out just 4, threw 97 pitches, 56 for strikes. Not the best of ratios on that either. And he is in line for the loss, and barring an epic come from behind from the Suns, it is a loss he will pretty much definitely receive.
Well, for Gaffaro's last time, not for Gaffaro, but for Bradley Hughes, the last time he was out was, yesterday. He pitched the last 2/3 of an inning as he replaced the starter Gage Feeney in the 9th. That is when he collected the save. He only faced 3 batters because he only gave up a walk and got the other 2 outs. That was it.
Yes, and with a humongous 16.61 ERA, Billy, it seems as though the goal is just for Hughes to try to get some work in, give the team some innings, maybe take some pressure off of their bullpen arms. And frankly, it would be great, I imagine, for him to lower that ERA just a little bit.
Sidwell is 1 for 2, but he does have a run scored, and there's runners on first and second. It's going to be tough here.
The first pitch on the way, and this one's a pop up high in the air. It looks like they're converging, and they're not going to get it. He fielded on a 1 hop there by Mendoza. That's going to bring aboard 1 run. They go down as a base hit, an RBI single at that for Kirk Sidwell, and that's the second time that's happened today, Billy, and that run will not be charged to Bradley Hughes' line. That will rather be charged to Bryson Cafaro. So make that 8 earned runs on the day for Cafaro and 8 runs in total for the Bravehearts as they extend their lead to 8-0 off their 11th hit of the game.
Mendoza just lost it into the sun. He had his arms up, didn't know where the ball was, then found it, and it drops right in front of him.
First pitch on the way. That's going to be low for a ball to called strike. It's going to be to Joseph Pesci. Pesci, who popped out his last time up and singled his first time up and came around later to score. The 0-1 on the way. This one, swung on and missed. That one's going to make it 0-2. He was just one pitch away from getting out of this one. Hopefully for the last pitch of the inning as he has his sign. Delivering the 0-2, and this one, pinch outside for a ball. Tough take for Pesci on that one. Make that 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1-2 set to be delivered and on the way. And this one swung on and missed. And the tag is applied. Ring him up for the third out of the inning on the 3rd strike, and that will finally end the inning. And in that one, the Bravehearts put up another run to go up by a score of 8-0 in this one. We will now head to the bottom of the 4th. The Suns have a lot of makeup to do here, as we will now head to the bottom of the 4th. We have Hughes, DiMartino, Marin up, the 2, 3, 4 hitters here on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Hi, we're talking to real smokers about quitting. Tell me when you smoke and why you smoke.
Eat, cigarette, kids, cigarette, dinner, another cigarette.
One on my way to lunch, one after lunch.
And another cigarette, and another cigarette.
Have you tried to quit?
Yes. I become angry.
It ain't that easy. You can't just quit cold turkey. I tried.
What would you do different?
Actually having a plan and thinking it through.
You have to relearn how to live your life without a cigarette in your hand.
With the right plan, you can quit smoking. Free at becomeanx.org. X, a new way to think about quitting. Brought to you by X and the Ad Council.
In times like these, violence in our schools is a reality, so it's important to know what to do if a dangerous situation arises, and also how to prevent it. Kids, never bring a weapon to school, and if you see a student with one, or even hear someone talking about having a weapon, report it immediately. If something doesn't seem right or look right to you, speak up. If someone you know is showing signs of anger, or if you are feeling out of control, tell someone. If you feel threatened or bullied, tell someone. Violent acts often start out as small disagreements. Tell a parent or teacher if you see an argument taking place. It's better to let someone know about a disagreement before it gets out of hand. Let's put an end to these tragedies. Ask your school to adopt an anti-violence program. Visit ncpc.org to learn more about how to keep your school safe. That's ncpc.org. A message from the U.S. Department of Justice, National Crime Prevention Council, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the bottom of the 4th here between the Suns and Bravehearts. Worcester still holding a commanding 8-0 lead. And with that, the Suns will trot out Thomas Hughes to bat here. Hughes plunked by a pitch back in the 1st. No official at-bats to this point. As he sees the first pitch, this one fouled well back. Make that now 0-1. Hughes would also be later caught stealing back in the 1st. And that was just a few short pitches after he was plunked, so really adding insult to injury or so to say, as here comes the 0-1. This one flied out there. Is that going to be fair or foul? That one is going to be fair, and that one's going to be a base hit. Hughes trying to stretch for 2. And it's looking like he will have a very weird double on that one. He was perfectly placing that one well down the foul line. And, well, he will lead the inning off with a double. And that one's actually going to represent the first base hit of the game for the Suns as they finally get to Sanderson for something. That's going to lead way to Drew DiMartino. DiMartino, much like Hughes prior to that one, DiMartino currently lacking an official at-bat as he walked on a full count pitch back in the 1st. He would advance to second on the wild pitch before getting stranded there.
Just a bloop double there as overrunning it was the right fielder. Delacari hit the wall and became a double.
First pitch high to DiMartino for a ball. Make that now 1-0. Checks the runner back at second before throwing. This one's going to be fouled off for a strike. Make that now 1-1 as that one kind of shooting past Coach Gedman over there in foul territory as he kind of just Watches that one move past. Not going to try to field that one without a glove. That will make that even now at 1-1. He gets the 1-1 sign, checks the runner back at second before delivering. This one's going to be right at the shortstop there in Lucas. Wow, what a lineout. That will be going down as an L6 for DiMartino, who put plenty of power behind it, but as Billy likes to put it, a true atom ball to put one out on the board. That will yield way to Peter Marin, the designated hitter. Marin flew out to left field last time up, representing the third out of that inning back in the first. And now with a runner in scoring position, we'll see just how the cleanup guy does.
Lucas, they were just a line shot right to him.
As the first pitch, it clips the outside corner for a strike. Make that now 0-1.
And with that line shot, again, well placed there was the shortstop Lucas, but wise there from Thomas Hughes to freeze, then trot back a little bit, then dive back.
Getting the 0-1 sign, checking the runner back at second before delivering. This one put into play, and he's going to get down to first. Fielded by Lucas, but it's no throw to be made on that one. A very well hit infield single there from Peter Marin. It's going to also push the runner over to third.
It went underneath the glove there of the shortstop, Lucas. He made a great play.
We will wait on Billy here to make a more official ruling on that one, and that will give way to Ivan Nunez. Regardless of the ruling, Nunez will face runners on the corners with one away.
It is going to be rolled a base hit. That was going to be a hard play, and even with the very hard throw over to first, I think he might have beaten the throw, so it'll be rolled a single.
The first pitch of the at-bat to Nunez is going to clip the outside corner for a called strike, make that now 0-1. Looking for a sign here with runners on the corners is Sanderson. He finally gets the sign on the 0-1. And the 0-1 on the way. This one flied out to center. Is this one going to be deep enough to score a run? We're going to see as that one's going to be caught. They're going to throw in onto home, and this one's clearly going to be deep enough to score. That one tripping as he gets home is Thomas Hughes, and you hope he's okay down there. It looks like he's going to be okay. In either case, that is a sac fly for Ivan Nunez. Finally getting the Suns on the board here. They have a little bit more catch-up to do, however, as the score is now 8-1. That will give way to Brian McHale. McHale he flew out to right back in the second inning. He's going to have a runner on first this time around as he did last time. This is Brian McHale. Is Jake Sanderson going to try to recover from giving up the first run of his outing? As he has the sign on the no-count pitch. The first pitch going to be just a little bit outside for a ball now 1-0. The 1-0 on the way, and this one, a little bit inside. Maybe McHale kind of dramatizing it just a little bit, but in either case, it is now a ball now 2-0. Sanderson looking for the signal. He's going to get it for the 2-0 pitch on the way. And this one's going to be flied out, and the center fielder looking to corral this one will do so to end the inning. The Suns finally get through, though, as they score one run on 2 hits. And they leave one runner aboard as we will now head to the top of the 5th inning. The Bravehearts still not really worried about too much as they still hold a commanding 8-1 lead. We will head to top of the 5th action in a moment here on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Did you know that every 2 seconds someone in America needs blood? Dr. Phil here, and I'd like to encourage you to donate blood through the American Red Cross. If you've never given before, now's a great time to start. If you've given before, do it again. It only takes about an hour, and your donation could make a life-saving difference. So contact the American Red Cross today. To make an appointment, call 1-800-GIVE-LIFE or visit givelife.org today. Thank you.
Type 2 diabetes is a serious chronic health threat in America. It affects tens of millions of people. Many people who have the disease don't know it. Diabetes can cause health problems such as heart disease, strokes, amputations, and blindness. Talk to your doctor, get screened if you're at risk, and learn how to avoid becoming one of the millions of new cases of diabetes each year. You can help prevent type 2 diabetes. A message from CDC and HHS.
Getting your child home safely
Tap your views together 3 times.
is just a click away.
There is no place like home.
But making sure your child is in the right seat is just one of the steps down the road to safer travels.
I don't know how it works.
Find the right seat for your little one's age and size. There's no better way to get home safely. Know for sure that your child is in the right seat.
How can I ever thank you enough?
Get all the facts at safercar.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to today's game between the Worcester Bravehearts and Pittsfield Suns here on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. We are right now in the top of the 5th. The Bravehearts looking to try to pad their 8-1 lead. And to do that, they will bring John Hansen up to the plate. Hansen right now 1-for-1, doubled and came around to score his last time up. He also walked and came around to score in the second inning as he sees the first pitch low for a ball, now 1-0.
Yeah, for Hansen, 2 of 8 total runs collected by the number 8 hitter and third baseman.
He sees the 1-0 pitch on the way, and this one's going to be a little bit in. I don't know that I'd call that chin music, but
definitely high in time,
yeah,
but not to the tune of chin music.
Yes, haha, tune. Any case, it's going to be well in and well high for a 2-0 count, which will now be delivered. This one's going to be a bit high, maybe a bit inside as well. He will now see a pretty much free pitch with a 3-0 count. Hansen getting ready to pretty much sit perfectly still in the 3-0 delivery, as this one's going to be high, and, well, that's how you do it. A 4-pitch walk for John Hansen.
Doesn't really have to do anything there. Just sits there, waits for pitches. He knows the Pittsfield Sun staff has been erroneous on the ball-to-strike ratio. Really a lot of balls thrown here today, especially the percentage. But the shortstop, Will Lucas, he's going to try to collect some offense off this, even though they're still up 8-1.
Yes, Will Lucas up to the plate as he sees the first pitch. This one's going to be right down Broadway for a called strike. 0-1. Will Lucas 1-for-2 on the day. He singled and swiped the bag his last time up. He grounded into the third baseman his first time up back in the second. A pitcher apparently converted shortstop today as he gets ready for the 0-1 count. This one will clip the inside corner. Deceptive movement and a great late break is going to allow it to be a great pitch. 0-2 count forthcoming.
Just a fantastic curve there from Bradley Hughes, able to flash a little bit here.
Fantastic pitch indeed. As he looks to try to throw another one of those with an 0-2 on the way, and this one's going to be grounded, and this one's going to get past Nunez's glove in third, getting past the infield, leaking into shallow left for a base hit. Back-to-back base runners aboard for the Bravehearts, as that will give way to Chris Rinaldi.
So again, a fantastic job there by Ivan Nunez defensively, but he is human, just past the outstretched glove, and really nothing he could do about that. He was placed exactly where he needed to be.
So that will give way to Chris Rinaldi, 0-for-2 on the day. He flew in a run in the second inning and struck out his other 2 times. In the first inning by way of swinging, the third by way of looking. As he sees the first pitch, that one well high, well outside, almost getting away there from Simeone. Make that now 1-0. A good job from Simeone bringing that one back in. As Hughes gets ready to deliver the 1-0. This one's going to be, a bit of a generous call on that one. It's a called strike.
One really had just a late break to it. I think there was a curveball that just broke at the last second. Fantastic pitch as it just inches the inside corner.
Fantastic pitch indeed as he has the 1-1 on the way. This one, well, no debating on that one. That one's going to be well outside for a ball, now 2-1. He's looking for the sign. Taking a bit of time to get it as he finally gets it. 2-1 on the way. Checking the runner on second. Checking the runner on second again as he delivers. This one's well high for a ball. 3-1. And Hughes really has to be careful with this next pitch as he's 1 pitch away from walking the bases loaded with no outs.
And you're already down 8-1. You really have nowhere to put them. You want to have as least amount of relievers as possible.
And, well, never mind that, as the 3-1 is going to be low and almost in the dirt for a ball. Make that now another walk. 2 walks this inning alone will load the bases for Edward House.
For that, Edward House has had himself a day, and if he keeps it up, he can really threaten the FCBL record.
Playing off of Billy's point, yes, House a perfect 3 for 3. Came around to score and drove in a run back in the second and simply hit a single his last time up last inning. And yeah, like Billy said, House could really make his line interesting with another base hit, which would also bring in at least 1, if not 2 runs as well. Hughes with the first pitch. That one's going to clip the inside corner for a called strike. 0-1. Another great pitch from Hughes, who's really working the inside part of the plate to perfection this inning. It's just everywhere else where he's been struggling in this inning, loading the bases with no outs. Gets the 0-1 sign, checking the runner on second. Doing so again before he delivers. Is this one? Ooh, another really good inside corner pitch. Make that now 0-2 is really putting some pressure on House with some great pitches.
Middle low on the curve. This one is on the upper inside corner with the curve.
House will now face an 0-2 count. No outs, bases loaded. Nowhere to put him here is Hughes again checking the runner on second. Doing so again and then again before delivering, as this one's going to go right past Hughes. This one could be 2, as this one goes to Demo over at second, and he gets the out, throwing it on to first. A beautiful play from DiMartino. One run, will come across the score, but a pretty good trade as there are now 2 outs on the board following the 4-3 double play. Great defensive effort from Drew DiMartino. That will push across a run, but in exchange, the Suns collect 2 outs.
So the 2-for-1 makes it now 9-1, and with that, again, no RBI there for House, giving up 2 outs.
And so he will not be perfect any longer. House will be, as his teammate Malco Delacari takes the first pitch ball, 1-0. Delacari on the day, 1 for 3. He hit a fielder's choice his last time up and came around to score. He also singled back in the second and also came around to score there as the second pitch is outside for a ball, 2-0. Coincidentally, he's also stolen 2 bases on the day.
Yeah, the base paths, well, have been kind to him.
Indeed.
Really boosting them stats.
Don't really think he's going to run too much more today, as next pitch is going to be outside for a ball now, 3-0. Don't think he's going to be running too much more today, especially as the Bravehearts jump out to more and more of a lead as the ball game progresses. Delacari going to be given the red light here on a 3-0 count as Hughes gets ready to basically just put one right down Broadway, you hope, and he does exactly that as he gets the called strike on an easy one there. 3-1 to Delacari. He was fortunate to only give up 1 run after he loaded the bases with no outs as he gets set to deliver the 3-1. This one's going to be grounded and caught there by Nunez, who's going to throw on to first and end the inning. 5-3 put out. It's going to end the inning, but not before the Bravehearts extend their lead. They put it across 1 run on 1 hit. They leave a runner on third to end the inning. We'll now head to the bottom of the first. The Bravehearts extend their lead to now 9-1 as the Suns will now come up to plate and the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
You know the 3rd leading cause of fire deaths for older adults is cooking? Hi, I'm Rob Neal from the United States Fire Administration with important fire safety tips for seniors. Never leave cooking unattended because a serious fire can start in seconds. Don't wear loose clothing while cooking. Keep towels and pot holders away from the range. Double check the kitchen before you go to bed or leave your home. This message is brought to you by the United States Fire Administration, your local fire department, and this radio station.
So here's my cell phone number, my husband's cell phone number, and here's the number to the grandparents. The number of the restaurant we'll be at, it's just down the block. And I told the neighbors you were here, so if anything happens, anything at all, don't hesitate to call. And what's your cell phone number again? I don't think I put that in.
Honey.
What?
Honey, he'll be fine. Okay, let's go.
I know you're right.
The odds of a babysitter calling 911, 1 in 1,400. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism, 1 in 150. You know the odds of autism. Now learn some of the signs. No big smiles or other joyful expressions by 6 months. No back and forth sharing of sounds or facial expressions by 9 months. And no babbling by 12 months. To learn more of the signs and more about autism, visit autismspeaks.org. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to today's game between the Bravehearts and the Pittsfield Suns, as we've got Kyle Cronk leading off the bottom of the 5th here at Makona Park as he takes the first pitch outside for a ball 1-0. Again, the Suns trailing the Bravehearts 9-1 here in the early going. Kronk grounded into a double play his last time up as he's now 0 for 1. As the second pitch is fouled back, make that now 1 ball, 1 strike. Sanderson back out for a 5th inning, trying to qualify for the win as he delivers a 1-1. This one grounded to the second baseman is pretty routine play. Yeah, throw on to first. An easy 4-3 put out there as Kronk goes down on just 3 pitches.
This one, more or less, you saw House really playing back on it because, well, we've seen the high grass. It can kick the ball either high or low, so a great job of him playing it back, knowing he had plenty of time to play this one off any sort of hop, high, low, mid, anything, and make an easy throw over to first.
That being said, it will lead way into the right fielder Vicente Mendoza. Mendoza grounded out into Edward House's last time up as he's going to take a first pitch ball 1-0. 1-0 on the way as the sun's starting to peek out at us. Fouled back. Make that now 1 ball, 1 strike. Plenty of cloud cover, though. We're not really in threat of a sun delay at this point.
As the sun peeks out just a little bit.
Yeah, with plenty of dark clouds up in the sky, with covering for plenty of time, we're not going to have a sun delay today. As the 1-1's on the way, that one's going to be in for a ball, 2 balls, 1 strike. Always comforting to know, Billy, that we're not going to be dealing with any delays today.
We're hoping.
Yes, of course. Not going to bet my house again today. It is now 2 balls, 1 strike. The 2-1 on the way. This one swung on and missed. Really rearing his head back and kind of, jabbing at that one. It was Mendoza, who's now 2-2.
Swing at that one, but it was a breaking ball. Just cannot come up with any sort of contact.
2-2 on the way, and this one fouled well high, leaving the park, crossing. I think that went behind the light over there. Is
just behind it, yeah. But this one he does make contact there.
Yes, he certainly does. In any case, doesn't affect the count. It is still going to be 2-2 as the 2-2 on the way, and this one.
Ooh, close pitch.
Yes, I was going to say that one possibly a little outside and maybe a teeny bit low, filling it up at 3-2. 3-2 pitch on the way, and this one swung on and missed. That one possibly would have been a ball 4, but Mendoza tries to hack at it one and pays the price, striking out on swinging.
Just a fantastic job of Sanderson picking apart Mendoza. Hits him with a high cheeser, and, he makes him swing and miss.
And that will give way to the catcher Severino Simeone, who befell the same fate the last time he was up, striking out swinging, albeit on just 3 pitches. Trying to improve his results this time around with 2 outs on the board and nobody on. As he sees the first pitch, this one's going to be high for a ball, so it won't be the same thing as last time up as Severino Simeone sees his first ball of the game. Make that now 1-0. This one fouled back, make it 1-1. One on the way from Sanderson. This one again foul. Oh, and look at that! Look at that! Way to go, Coach Gedman. He picks that one up cleanly.
No, he bobbled that.
Oh,
he stayed recovered without any.
He
bobbled it twice, but it still stayed in the air. Snares it as well. So when flash of a grin there from Getty.
When you don't have a glove, I call that clean. In any case, 1-2 on the way. And this one over the second baseman's head by maybe an inch. Going to come in for a base hit for Simeone.
That one actually tipped just off the leather, the leather there of House. You could see it just have a little bit of misdirection there, but it's still going to go down as a base hit. Nice job there, and perfectly placed.
Yes, perfectly placed. An inch lower, and that one would have been snared. But regardless, Simeone on with a base hit, and that will give way to the center fielder, Alexander White. 0 for 2. He's grounded out twice. But yeah, really very impressive on Simeone's end. As here's the first pitch to White, coming right down Broadway for a called strike, 0-1.
For Alexander White, he's been a spray hitter today, albeit the spray is the emphasis, not a hitter. Grounded to third, and a grounded to first.
And look, that one going to be well outside, and they, kind of bluff a pickoff throw into first, but I really don't think Simeone is going to be going anywhere, despite the fact he's taking a rather large lead. I really don't think he's going to try to.
Modest.
I really don't think he's going to try to steal first. His second pitch, or the next pitch, is going to be called strike now, 1-2. Yeah, it is modest, but again,
it's got a body length and a half there. Step and a dive. Pretty even keel.
Yeah. 1-2 on the way. This one's going to be fouled back, hitting some protective netting over there. Regardless, keeping it at 1 ball, 2 strikes. They do kind of bluff it. Maybe say like, hey, what are you doing over there? That type of play. The 1-2 set to be delivered. And this one called strike 3 on the inside corner. Beautiful pitch for Sanderson, who completes his 5th full inning and will now qualify for a winning decision, and that will end the inning. We now head to the top of the 6th. The 4, 5, 6 hitters for Worcester set to stand, and we will have that for you in a moment here on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
The following commercial is sponsored by feedthepig.org, an organization devoted to helping you save money. We will not entice you with messages like
lowest prices in town, dealer approved, certified pre-owned.
Nor will we brag about our
huge selection, enormous variety.
We will offer no contingencies like
see store for details. Legal exclusions apply.
Because we simply want to help you spend smarter and save better. Log on to feedthepig.org. Find the benefits of saving for every stage of life. Brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
Check it out, it's the Terminator. Hey, when'd you get back, huh?
Did you have to shoot anyone? Why are you so distant? Are you not happy to see me?
So what's the deal? You gonna get a job now or what?
Why are you being so jumpy? Put all that stuff behind you, okay?
No one knows what it's like to come back from Iraq or Afghanistan unless they were there. Join other veterans at communityofveterans.org because we know where you're coming from. Brought to you by Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America and the Ad Council.
At the American Lung Association, we're fighting for a day when we can all breathe easier. We're fighting for clear skies over every city and healthy lungs throughout the country. We're fighting to free millions of Americans from the addictive grip of tobacco and the devastating effects of lung disease. The American Lung Association isn't just fighting for air, we're fighting for all the things that make it worth breathing, and we can use your help. See what you can do at fightingforair.org.
There will now be a new pitcher in the ballgame as number 36, Jonathan Marquia, comes in to relieve Bradley Hughes. Marquia, 8 appearances, he's completed 12 innings, 16 hits, 12 runs, 11 earned, walking 4 to 11 strikeouts, a winning decision on the ledger, and a rather large 8.25 ERA. That will complete the line for the reliever Bradley Hughes, who, all told, wasn't bad trying to eat up some innings. He ultimately ate up 1 1/3, faced 7 batters, an earned run on 2 hits, walked a couple with a strikeout, 25 pitches, just 13 for strikes at 52% total. That will now give way to Jonathan Marquia. Marquia's first target will be the cleanup hitter first baseman, number 21, Dustin Harris. Harris did strike out looking his last time out, but before that, oh boy, he blasted a 3-run shot to right center in the second inning for 3 runs. He also singled on his first pitch back in the first. So he is not one to be messed with.
No, he's done enough damage today. I mean, his 3-run homer covers the Suns easily. Not just by runs, but his 3 runs are, well, the exact number of hits that the Suns have collectively today.
Yes, it's been a struggle for the Suns as a whole today. Pitching, defense, swinging the bats, really just about everything. As it's been all Worcester to this point here as we head to the top of the 6th. Just getting a few more practice swings in is Dustin Harris before he faces Marquia, as Marquia and Simeone converging on the mound to discuss strategy. Simeone heading back to the backstop. Marquia getting ready to face Dustin Harris.
Well, then the wind getting ready to whip around the ball as well and pretty much move the ball. Not as much as, obviously, football.
Marquia getting ready to throw the first pitch of the inning and his outing. Here it comes. This one, popped up. And going back, Simeone looking for it. Is he going to get to it? No, he is just barely going to miss it. A good effort from him there, but just barely missing that one as it's going to drop in for a foul.
Well, that one, again, nothing you can do with the wind being as wild as it is, because that one, the wind was whipping around 10, 15 miles an hour with a pretty big gust there. So, again, not really not his fault, but just really in no man's land.
Yes, and as a result, of course, he won't call the error on Simeone on that one. It's just going to simply be a foul ball. As Marquia gets ready to throw the 0-1 pitch. And that one's going to be well outside for a ball. Make that 1 ball, 1 strike. That one kind of starting off out and ending out as that one, an easy ball call there for Mark Irish. As Marquis gets ready to throw the 1-1. This one's going to be, well, reversed. It's going to be too far in. We're now 2 balls, 1 strike. Kia already getting back to the mound. A quick tempo on the mound as he looks for the 2-1. The number 21, Dustin Harris. He gets set to throw the pitch. And this one swung on a miss for Dustin Harris, who, again, trying to do some damage with that bat. You could tell he really put a lot behind that one, but coming up empty, evening it at 2-2. Yes, returning to the batter's box, ready to take the pitch. Marquis ready to deliver it at 2 balls, 2 strikes. And here comes this one. Check swing, but he actually did foul it back. So
somehow, some way,
yes,
able to foul that one off.
Yes, I actually like trying to replay that one in my mind. I have no idea how that one made contact, but it did, of course. And we will stay at 2-2. Okay, looking for the sign. He gets it. Harris ready to deal with the 2-2 as it is on the way. This one, he flies it up well high. This one's going to stay in the infield. Looks like Demo's going to corral in second, and he certainly will for the first out of the inning by way of a P4.
That one just a jam job as he swung at this one. It was up, and that's exactly where it put it, was up.
Yes, but unlike his second inning blast, just not with the carry to do any damage, and that will give way to his teammate Brent Koffel. Koffel 0 for 2 on the day. He walked last time up, advanced all the way over to third before eventually being stranded. He also struck out swinging his first time up and flew out to right on a full count pitch his second time up. Marquia looking for the first pitch signal. He gets it. The throw, and whoa, boy, this is going to be a fly ball, and this one's carrying, and he's going to find a glove in left. This one looking like it could do some damage, but ultimately dies out there in left. Easily corralled. Kind of disappointingly for Koffel and the Worcester Bravehearts. This one looked like it could do some damage, but ultimately finding a glove in left.
I wouldn't say it's really an easy out over in left, because that one, Kronk had to travel away because Brett Koffel hit that one a mile, but again, the wind really pulling it in. And with the tree lines and how the wind blows in on the park, it always just brings in the ball, which again makes it a really pitchers-friendly ballpark, albeit not Pittsfield Suns pitching staff today.
No, it certainly has not been, as that will lead into the left fielder Kirk Sidwell. Sidwell 2 for 3 on the day, couple singles, an RBI, and a ground out. He looks for the first pitch. That one's going to be right down Broadway for a called strike, make that 0-1. Yeah, Billy, I feel like in any other ballpark, that one could have easily gone over the wall, if not maybe hit the wall for a double, but here just dies in Kronk's glove as the 0-1's on the way. Swung and a missed for strike 2. Sidwell trying to recover here, and as the Bravehearts have scored in 4 straight innings, Sidwell trying to keep that alive here as he faces a 0-2 count with 2 outs on the board. The 0-2 on the way. And this one, oh, wow. Talk about untamed pitches. That one definitely fit the bill there. That one well outside for a ball, make it 1-2. Marquia trying to recover from that one. He steps off, dusts off the mound a little bit. Looking back at Simeone, looking for a call, waiting a really long time. There, he finally gets the right call. The 1-2 is on the way. And this one foul tip, but not collected, so Sidwell will remain alive, keeping it now at 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, Wakota Park really a pitcher-friendly ballpark. Reminds us a lot of ballparks such as, of course, Petco Park in San Diego, very pitcher-friendly. Safeco Field in Seattle as well.
This one's fouled back well over our heads. We will once again go from 1 ball, 2 strikes. And yes, Billy, kind of has always had a reputation for being pitcher friendly. How many times a season do you think we have it happen where like these fly balls just die? Like they just find a glove where it looked like, oh, look, they could do some damage. Never mind, it's just a weak fly out.
2. Many.
Yes. 1-2 on the way and swung on and missed. That will end a clean inning for Marquia, the first of its kind in the ballgame for the Suns. The first time they see the Bravehearts go down 1-2-3, and the first time since the very first where they don't score a single run. We'll now head to the bottom of the 6th. The Bravehearts just go down 1-2-3. The Suns will put up their 2-3-4 hitters to bat. Here they still trail the Bravehearts 9-1 here on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
I have a passion for the environment. That's why I serve in the United States Coast Guard. We monitor commercial vessels, making sure our ports and waterways are safe and clean from oil or other hazardous material. We patrol our fisheries, protect marine wildlife and their habitats. With all we do, it's about protecting America.
Were you born ready to protect America? Learn more at gocoastguard.com.
Sponsored by the United States Coast Guard in cooperation with the Massachusetts Broadcasters Association and this station.
At the American Lung Association, we're fighting for a day when we can all breathe easier. We're fighting for clear skies over every city and healthy lungs throughout the country. We're fighting to free millions of Americans from the addictive grip of tobacco and the devastating effects of lung disease. The American Lung Association isn't just fighting for air, we're fighting for all the things that make it worth breathing, and we can use your help. See what you can do at fightingforair.org.
Welcome back to today's game between the Worcester Bravehearts and Pittsfield Suns. We head to the bottom of the 6th. The Bravehearts again holding a commanding 9-1 lead over the Suns. Bravehearts 9 runs on 12 hits. The Suns just 1 on 3. Sanderson staying out there for the 6th, trying to go for the quality start and has plenty of breathing room to do so. Not only does he have a big lead behind his back, but he has also only thrown 69 pitches. Should be able to get through the 6th with ease as he will set to face first baseman number 30, Thomas Hughes. Hughes really the last guy to really threaten Sanderson, and he was actually the only one to come around to score against Sanderson so far. He doubled and came around to score later in the ballgame. He also was plunked back in the first, but was later caught stealing, so that makes him 1 for 1 on the day. First pitch of the inning coming to Hughes, and that will be low, maybe a little outside for a ball, 1-0. 1-0 pitch on the way, and that one going to be pretty far outside for a ball, make that 2-0 for Hughes, who has just really been a thorn in his side today. The only member of the Suns to really consistently do much of anything against Sanderson as a 2-0 pitch, and that's going to be a fly ball. That one should easily find a glove, and it will. That one's going to be an F7 for Hughes. That'll be the first out of the inning.
Speaking of, segueing from last inning, again, a hard hit ball going into deep left center field, but Sidwell right there on the run to be able to get that one just because the ball just stays right up there in the air and then will gradually fall down. But Thomas Hughes really providing the most offense here for the Suns thus far.
As Drew DiMartino will come up to the plate. He takes the first pitch high for a ball, 1-0. DiMartino 0 for 1, walked back in the first, advanced to second on a wild pitch before being stranded. Hard liner into the shortstop his last time up in the 4th as he sees the 1-0 pitch coming. And he puts that one in play. This one going to the shortstop again, but kind of bobbling and gobbling him up there in the infield. And DiMartino will advance on to first. Not sure what the ruling on this one will be, but regardless, DiMartino will advance to first. I would imagine probably an E6 on the play, but we will await confirmation on that ruling.
Yeah, that one was just a weird play there for Lucas, having to go and try to back hit it. He crossed himself up, and I think for that reason it's going to be an E6.
Yes, the pitcher-converted infielder makes his first error as a member of the Bravehearts, as the shortstop is this one well outside to the DH, number 21, Peter Marin. Marin looking at the day, 1 for 2, singled his last time up, flew out to the left field his first time up. As this one he's going to foul off. No chance at Getty to grab this one, as this one was well off to Getty's right. In any case, that will be a foul ball, making that now 1 ball, 1 strike.
Marin an infield single this last time up, trying to produce again.
As Marin checks his swing, appeal, he did go. He did go. That will make it 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count. to Peter Marin.
Very close, but ultimately Tyler Bullock, the bases umpire, ruling that was a swing.
Yes,
Even
very
though
close.
Marin, he held the spot.
Yes, very close, but the 1-2 on the way. This one's going to be high for a ball, make that 2-2 to Marin. And yeah, that one was very close, Billy. He did kind of hold his spot, like suspended his arm in midair, holding the bat, but ultimately not able to fool Bullock as the 2-2's on the way. This one is going to be fouled off, leaving the ballpark pretty easily, going out into that massive pile full of trees, and we will stay at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Sanderson eyeing Marin and the home plate as he looks for a 2-2 pitch. He has it. 2-2's on the way, and this one popped up way high into the infield. Shortstop calling everybody off. This one's going to be easily caught there by Lucas, as that will now put the second out of the board on the board. That will give things over to the third baseman, number 39, Ivan Nunez. Nunez actually lacking an official at-bat so far. He walked in the second inning and hit a sacrifice fly back in the fourth. So no official at-bat, just a couple plate appearances for Nunez. To that note, he will come up with a runner on first and 2 outs on the board.
He was very productive in the bottom of the ninth for the Pittsfield Suns' last home game, where they were down by 5 in the bottom of the ninth with 1 gone.
First pitch, that's going to go well outside, and DiMartino easily advancing on to second. That's not just going to be an untamed pitch, that's going to be flat-out wild pitch.
Yeah, and with the Bravehearts currently right now non-noopling the Pittsfield Suns by a score of 9-1 and quadrupling them up in the hit department 12-3. They want to chip away any way that they can get, and the most offense they can get at any in particular time, they're going to try for.
The 1-0 pitch on the way. This one called strike on the inside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. And yeah, even though they're down 8 runs here in the later stages of the game, Billy, it ain't over till it's over. We thought they were dead and defeated against the North Shore Navigators the other day, and they put up 5 runs in the bottom of the 5th then. So it's not quite over yet. This one, that one's well inside, almost getting a piece of Nunez. Make that 2 balls, 1 strike.
Sanderson's pitching inside, trying to back off Nunez, but he's going to stay right in there on the inside most part of the corner and crowd the plate. He's not scared.
2-1 on the way. That one's going to be well high. That one backing up the right fielder, and he will make the catch to end the miniature threat the Suns had in the inning. We'll now head to top of the 7th action as the Suns push across pretty much nothing. We'll head to the top of the 7th. The bottom of the order for the Bravehearts, 7, 8, 9 hitters set to stand for them in the top of the 7th here on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Exercise is hard. So is maintaining a healthy diet. Of course, neither is half as hard as dying. Sadly, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and stroke kill nearly 1 million people a year. Even sadder, most of these deaths are preventable with a few lifestyle changes, including regular activity, healthier eating, and not smoking. Talk to your doctor about your risk for type 2 diabetes and heart disease. And if your doctor recommends lifestyle changes or medication, listen. The reason so many die is because not enough are willing to change. You can stop it, starting right now. It's your life. Listen to your doctor. Eat better. Get moving. Visit checkupamerica.org or call 1-800-DIABETES. A message from the American Diabetes Association.
Salagadoola, metricaboola, bibbidi bobbidi.
You must be your fairy godmother. Yes.
It doesn't take a fairy godmother to tell you that the right fit means everything.
Welcome back to today's game between the Worcester Bravehearts and Pittsfield Suns. Top of the 7th action, Bravehearts dominating with a score of 9-1 over the hometown Pittsfield Suns. The center fielder, number 18, Joseph Pesci, will now come to the plate. Pesci 1 for 3 on the day with a single and a run scored. Struck out swinging his last time up. And he will still be getting pitched to by number 36, Jonathan Marquia, as the first pitch well inside. Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yes. Wow. Probably closer to plunking him than being an actual strike, but getting called that nonetheless. It is now 0-1, I suppose. Marquia getting a very good call, and that one is, one is coming. That one's going to be popped up going to go well out into right, and that one pretty easy there for the right fielder Mendoza, because that one's going to be an F9 for Joseph Pesci.
Well, yeah, almost made up for it because, again, that one was on the right-handed batter's inside chalk line.
Yes.
Was not on the inside corner. That one just missed there. But, well, either way, it's getting the game going along. But it's going to bring up John Hansen, who as well, he's scored 3 times.
Yes, John Hansen, a perfect 1-for-1, a double, and 3 runs scored with 2 walks. He advanced on a wild pitch to once back in the first as he will try to keep his perfection going. Not just in getting a board, but also scoring as he takes the first pitch ball, make it 1-0. Sun kind of poking out at us above, but no, absolutely no threat of sun delay as the 1-0's on the way. Swung on and missed it. Absolutely fooled by the velocity on that one. Just location and speed in general. Beautiful pitch from Marquia.
Marquia playing yo-yo with that ball, pulling the string right on back and jerking that one away there from Hansen.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out pitch on the way. And that one, ripped foul.
That one underneath the wooden panel there, underneath that Applebee sign.
Yes, and no one's going to go out and get it.
Well, of course not, because you're going to have to go underneath the stands for that one.
I kind of said that, like no one's going to go get that type attitude. But anyhow, 1 ball, 2 strike pitch coming to Hansen. On the way, swung on and missed. Hansen's day of perfection is now over as he goes down swinging on strikes. That will put the second out on the board.
Well, you can't get them all.
No, you suppose you can. And if you're Will Lucas, that rings especially true as he did commit an error last inning, but last time up he did hit a base hit, 2 for 3 on the day as a whole, representing the 3rd batter of the inning with 2 outs on the board. Marquia trying to go 1-2-3 again. First pitch on the way, and this one a little bit outside for a ball. 1-0. Fast pace on the mound is Marquia as he's already ready with the 1-0 pitch. As this one, right down Broadway for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Readying up the 1-1. Here comes the pitch. Now that was some chin music. That one way high in on him. Make that 2-1.
The good news is he got out of the way. The bad news is he got out of the way.
Bad news depending on how you look at it as the 2-1 forthcoming. As this one, painting the black. Make that now. Look at that, Billy. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and to number 46. Remember how you reached the last time we saw
there's
this.
2 men on.
Yeah, I suppose that's not the same here. 2 balls, 2 strike pitch coming. As that one fouled back almost to us over here. Not quite getting through our protective netting. Hopefully no pitch ever will, as that would probably result in a broken window.
Yeah, never again, please. Please.
Well,
please.
I don't think they can hear you down there, but
well, I can yell.
Please don't.
I won't.
In any case, the 2-2 pitch on the way from Marquia. As he stretches and throws, this one fouled back. Staying at 2-2 after the second consecutive continuation of foul is John Lucas. Will Lucas, rather. Lucas ready to receive the pitch. Marquia not quite ready to throw it, except now he is. A 2-2 with 2 outs on the way. This one put into play, and Marquia makes a wonderful catch. Wow. I guess that's why you have a glove, Marquia fan. Fantastic catch. And that will end the top half of the 7th. We now head to bottom of the 7th action off of that wonderful play. Sun 6, 7, 8 hitters are due up. And they would still trail by a score of 9-1 here on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Check it out, it's the Terminator. Hey, when'd you get back, huh?
Did you have to shoot anyone? Why are you so distant? Are you not happy to see me?
So what's the deal? You gonna get a job now or what?
Why are you being so jumpy? Put all that stuff behind you, okay?
No one knows what it's like to come back from Iraq or Afghanistan unless they were there. Join other veterans at communityofveterans.org because we know where you're coming from. Brought to you by Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America and the Ad Council.
In times like these, violence in our schools is a reality. So it's important to know what to do if a dangerous situation arises and also how to prevent it. Kids, never bring a weapon to school. And if you see a student with one or even hear someone talking about having a weapon, report it immediately. If something doesn't seem right or look right to you, speak up. If someone you know is showing signs of anger, or if you are feeling out of control, tell someone. If you feel threatened or bullied, tell someone. Violent acts often start out as small disagreements. Tell a parent or teacher if you see an argument taking place. It's better to let someone know about a disagreement before it gets out of hand. Let's put an end to these tragedies. Ask your school to adopt an anti-violence program. Visit ncpc.org to learn more about how to keep your school safe. That's ncpc.org. A message from the U.S. Department of Justice, National Crime Prevention Council, and the Ad Council.
You are listening to today's game between the Worcester Bravehearts and Pittsfield Suns on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. Andrew Ballard and Billy Madewell from here at Paul Dowd Field at Wacona Park as Brian McHale takes a first pitch ball. Make that now 1 ball, no strikes from Jake Sanderson, who remains in the game. And this one, oh man, this is crushed. Is this going to be caught? This one's going to go, oh no, this is going to stay in the park. At the moment, that one's going to be a stand-up double for McHale, who almost left the park on that one with a lead-off double.
This one was just a hot shot, but again, if the trees and the wind and how the ball carries in this ballpark, that was not the case. That was out of here. But with that being said, he hit it to the base of the wall, showing off some warning track at Wacona Park power. And nice to get a lead-off double.
Yes, indeed, and that will bring in Kyle Cronk. Cronk 0 for 2 grounded to the second baseman his last time up. Now with an actual runner in scoring position, however, as this one fouled back. Not very hard hit, but, well, that went off, I believe, the roof. Yes, off the roof. Not sure if anyone's going to get that one or not, but in any case, what Cronk will be getting is an 0-1 count. As in trying to recover from getting hit hard by Brian McHale. Here comes the pitch. That one well outside for a ball. Make that now an even 1-1. Anderson has this sign. Looking now for the 1-1. Just delivers. This one, skips in off of the catcher's mask. And I don't really think he was particularly serious about going to get that one. McHale going to advance over to third on a truly wild pitch.
That one a 55-footer, and, well, would have been good if it hit the sticks in cricket, as we really love referencing cricket,
yes,
but that one got away.
Also skipping off of the catcher Koffel's mask. He seems okay, however, and they will just simply go from there. 2-1 pitch on the way. Sanderson winds and deals, and this one, fly ball. Is this going to stay fair or foul? It's going to... Did he catch that? No, he didn't.
Oh, no, he did catch it.
Did he catch it? Oh, he did catch it.
In foul territory, so the run's going to score.
Wow, you do not see that happen often. I'm pretty sure it's going to go down as a sacrifice fly. But in any case, he kind of almost breaks the wall in foul territory to make that play.
He definitely put a dent in it.
But in any case, that will bring home a run as the Suns strike again off of the sacrifice fly from Cronk. Credit him with an RBI. Credit McHale with a run scored as the score is now 9-2.
Yeah, sacrifice foul fly out.
You don't see that too often, Billy.
No, not at all.
That will bring in Vicente Mendoza. 0 for 2. He struck out swinging on a full count pitch his last time up. Sanderson has the pitch and deals. This one painting it black. Called strike 0-1. Sanderson winding and dealing. This one, same exact location, same exact result. Called strike 0-2 to Mendoza. The 0-2 forthcoming. Is this one same exact location? And yes, ring him up. Mendoza, you got to take a hack or they'll send you back. Easy, 1, 2, 3, strike him out. Mendoza pretty hapless in that one as he goes down, making that now 2 outs on the board. Now for the catcher, number 19, Severino Simeone. Simeone had the wildest of singles back in the 5th. As he's 1 for 2 on the day. A bit of an endorsement from the home crowd. You see the first pitch. This is one, again, he must have hit that same exact location 5 pitches in a row. He does so again. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. 0-1 now to Simeone. The 0-1 on the way and swinging at that one. Oh my, Simeone. Wow, he was either fooled badly or he was trying to put that one over the wall. Not doing that at all, but doing the first as he sees an 0-2 count. This one, ring him up? No?
Oh,
no?
wow.
No? Okay.
The other pitches were fine,
yes.
but that one, I suppose not.
I suppose not. Not sure where that one missed. Possibly just a little bit too in. It's the 1-2 on the way, and this one, wow.
Oh no, that one got
no.
Getty.
No.
You're going to ride the pine with that, Simeone.
Oh, no. Wow. Getty giving a bit of a smile. Simeone returning the smile as he's like, oh no, there goes my playing time. But in any case, his playing time for the moment will be unaffected as he faces a 1-2 count.
I don't know about the meantime.
This one he puts into the outfield. This one's going to slip past the outfielders. Simeone going to stretch that one out. He's going to easily get on to second for a double. Have a day if you're Simeone. Hitting well under 200 on the season, but on the day, 2 for 3 after that one, a rocket shot double as he puts himself into scoring position with 2 outs on the board.
I think you made up for hitting Gedman with that one.
Oh, possibly. They're going to probably talk about that after the game.
Well, I mean, he's got 2 hits. He just hit a ringing double after a ringing ankle roller.
Yeah, meeting on the mound after giving up a double between Sanderson and Koppel.
Yeah, if I was Simeone, I wouldn't meet with his head coach right now. I would say put at second, tie them shoes, untie them, and tie them again.
Yeah. Like, oh, I can't come back and meet you, Skip. I have to tie my shoes. Yeah, totally have to tie my shoes. Yeah. All that stuff aside, Alexander White will now come to the plate. 0 for 3 on the day, trying to break out of a mini slump as he. Oh wow, okay. Not quite chin music. Really, just almost.
That one's not. That's a good number 1 haircut for me.
Yes, almost getting a haircut on that one. That's why we wear helmets, folks, as he sees the first pitch ball 1-0 on the way. And this one put into play. This one's going to be corralled by the shortstop. Throw on to first, and that one easily corralled there for the 6-3 putout to end the inning. And now Simeone's going to have to face Matt Gedman as that one will end the inning. We now head to top of the 8th action. The Bravehearts set to place their top of the order 1-2-3 hitters. They still hold a commanding 9-2 lead here on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Home safety is a family effort. Being safe and sound should be everyone's priority. In times like these, theft and violence can strike anywhere. Protect your family. Keep your home well lighted and always lock doors and windows. Installing alarms adds an extra level of protection. Never leave valuables in plain sight. To learn more about protecting your home and family, visit ncpc.org or contact your local law enforcement agency.
A message from the U.S. Department of Justice, National Crime Prevention Council, and the Ad Council.
Are you prepared in the event of a disaster? I'm Jim Cantori, reminding you that the best way to make your family safer is to be prepared before disaster strikes. First, build a disaster supply kit with enough supplies for each family member for at least 3 days. Next, make a family communication or evacuation plan. Finally, stay informed. Listen to local radio and TV reports when disasters are imminent. For more information on how you can be Red Cross ready, contact your local American Red Cross chapter or visit redcross.org.
Give yourself the gift of a comfortable retirement by setting some cash aside for yourself. Saving a little of your monthly income can be as affordable as the average holiday gift. If retirement is near, you'll want to start saving right away. If you're younger, begin saving now, and compound interest will help your retirement fund snowball. A great way to figure out how much you'll need to save for retirement is to learn how much you'll get from Social Security. Do that in minutes at www.socialsecurity.gov/estimator.
Well, top of the 8th action, and we have a new pitcher in the ball game, and well, Peter Marin's going to put on a glove and step on the mound, and Marin has not done that this season, so I'm not sure of what he has for repertoire, although we can see he has a really slow breaking ball at the very least. So Marin will take over. That'll be the only defensive change, at least to my knowledge at this point, is Marin will simply allow the team to give up the DH and come into pitch. And to do so, he will, well, pretty much start anew, as the Bravehearts will present to Marin their 1-2-3 hitters in Rinaldi, House, and Delicari, barring a replacement. So, yeah, there you go. Marin will relieve Jonathan Marquia. Pretty solid performance from Marquia on the day. As Marquia, well, he covered 2 innings and gave up nothing. Struck out 2 on 6 batters faced, and really efficient. 26 pitches, 20 for strikes, and he will obviously be credited with a no decision, as Marin will now come into pitch. He will face number 4, Chris Rinaldi, as the first pitch is being thrown. This one, painted black, called strike, 0-1.
That one, I'd say painted gray.
Well, in any case, same result, as he now has an 0-1 ball. Marin, wow, fast tempo on the mound is, a slow, possibly a curve. Is that one well high and in? 1 ball, 1 strike.
He patted his chest, as everyone saw. He said, that was my bad. It's been a while since I pitched. That's my bad. He was going for a curve.
Looked like that, as he has a 1-1 on the way. And that one, a high fly ball, but looking like it should be easily corralled in center, as it is. And just like that, Marin getting it done. Getting the first guy he faces out, and now he will try to do the same with the second guy, Edward House. But House has been a bit of a tough cookie today. House 3 for 4 on the day, 3 singles, a run scored, but he did ground into a double play his last time up in the 5th. He can't repeat that result here, but, well, Marin hopes he repeats the result of being out.
He's got an RBI and a non-RBI on that double play. It scored a run.
As this one grounded to the second baseman, DiMartino, who will throw on to first. And, high, but the tag is applied. I think it was applied, and it was applied. Not the cleanest of outs, but really no hard, no foul, as first pitch, first out, or rather first pitch, 1 out for Edward House. And look at Marin rolling along. A little bit of a defensive blip, but doesn't really amount to much, as there are now 2 outs on the board.
All's well that ends well, with Marin sitting with his absolutely phenomenal 0.00 ERA.
Yes, Marin. Oh, yeah. Marin's going to climb the Suns' pitching staff. He's going to be tied with Thomas Hughes at the moment, as here's the first pitch to Michael Delicari. Called strike on that one. Not quite like Taylor Mier, who currently has an 81 ERA on the season after giving up 3 earned runs in 1/3 of an inning. Marin unwinds for the second pitch, outside for a ball, make that 1-1.
100 pitches for the starter for the Worcester Bravehearts, that being Sanderson. He's going to be replaced, and right now it looks like Brendan Cornoyer, will be pitching.
1-1 pitch low for a ball, 2-1.
For Cornoyer, he knows Kevin Donati well. They both play at New Albany.
The 2-1 on the way, and this one well outside for a ball, make that 3-1. It just didn't have any break to it.
They are playing a shift, a slight one at that, because you see the shortstop well behind the second base bag.
3-1 on the way, and this one fouled off of himself.
Well, that's one way to put it towards third with nobody there.
Indeed. Not if you're Delicari, though. I don't think Delicari quite wanted it that way. As it will fill up the count now, 3-2. The imaginary runners will be off with the pitch. It is 3 balls, 2 strikes with 2 men out. Marin not keeping an eye on those imaginary runners because, well, they're imaginary, as the 3-2 is on the way. And this one grounded out. DiMartino snares it. Impressive pick as he throws onto first. And well, look at that, Billy. An impressive 1-2-3 inning from Peter Marin.
3 straight.
Yes, indeed. And the Suns pitching staff on a bit of a roll, albeit maybe a little bit too late, as the Bravehearts still hold a 9-2 lead. We will stay here and listen to Sweet Caroline, with the Bravehearts holding a commanding 9-2 lead. Heading to the bottom of the 8th, the Suns' 2, 3, 4 hitters set to come in here on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. New pitcher in the contest here for the Worcester Bravehearts is going to be Brendan Cornorier. Quite the mouthful there. In 10 appearances, some iffy results for Cornorier as he's pitched 60 and 2/3, giving up 26 hits, 15 runs, 9 earned, walking and striking out 8. Unfortunately, losing 3 decisions on the year with a 4.86 ERA. That will cut the line for the starting pitcher, Sanderson. Pretty effective 7 innings of 2-run ball, giving up 5 hits. 3 of those actually doubles. He walked a couple and plunked a guy. 3 wild pitches. He threw 100 total pitches, so his removal was mandatory at this point by FCBL rule. So Cornorier will face off against the first baseman, number 30, Thomas Hughes. Hughes 1 for 2 on the day with a double and a run scored. Flew out to left his last time up. Cornorier with his first pitch. That one, painting it black. True painting it black with a called strike, 0-1.
Great pitch, high on the strike zone, right across the numbers there.
Presumably, you can imagine Cornorier probably will finish the game at this rate as the second pitch, well, a little bit lower, but mostly the same place as it is now 0-2.
Well, no possible way for this to be a hold or a save because he would have to at least pitch 3 innings. With Sanderson pitching 7, not a chance.
As the next pitch, just a little bit outside on that one, making 1 ball, 2 strikes from Cornorier to Hughes. And I get the feeling, Billy, I'm going to botch Cornorier at least once, some point this one.
Lifelong method, and I love saying this because it was from me. I'll get to that in a second.
All right, and this one flying out, but this one's going to be fouled by maybe an inch, as this one's going to stay inside the park, and it looks like some young fan of some sort is going to run to that under the white tent.
This is my direct quote. It happens to the best of us and the worst of me.
Yes.
Billy Madewell, 2018.
Yeah, 2018, more like, and 2017 and 2016, and every single year that you've been with the Suns. Is this one low for a ball? 2-2 to Thomas Hughes from Brandon Cornorier.
I will tell you this, Andrew. You're not wrong.
No, I'm Andrew. As the 2-2 pitch is on the way.
Yes.
This one flew out. This one pretty much a can of corn in right, as this one will be easily corralled by Delicari.
Andrew, you're slowly becoming me with a dad joke.
No.
First, I give you the play-by-play, and then you take over the dad joke responsibilities?
Oh, no. No. I will ignore that. In the meantime, putting that behind me, hopefully, we will now see the second baseman, number 8, Drew DiMartino. He's 0 for 2. He reached via an error his last time up. As Cornorier gives him the first pitch. This one popped well high. No one will even Matt Gedman following that one as it lands well out of the ballpark. Make that a foul ball, 0-1. You see Matt Gedman kind of following that one as it slowly left the park. This one, did that one hit him? It did hit him. DiMartino taking that one like a champ. He didn't even flinch at that thing.
That wasn't DiMartino.
Oh, no.
Just now looking at it, Brett Morrison.
Yes, I just realized that Morrison getting a pinch hit appearance at that.
Literally hit on the pinch hit.
Yes, literally getting hit in multiple senses, as this time the BH converted pitcher Peter Marin will now come to the dish. Brett Morrison and not DiMartino getting plunked. As Peter Marin will hope to avoid that at the moment, as Cornorier with the first pitch. This one, well outside.
A great recovery there from Koffel.
Koffel leaping forward after it, saying, like, you better not run on that one. And Morrison thinking, like, no, I'm just going to chill out here.
I'll be over here if you guys need me.
Right. Clearly a ball as the 1-0 pitch is on the way. This one, well, much more cleanly fielded, but the same result. 2 balls, no strikes.
Just moved outside there against the designated hitter now pitcher.
Cornorier looking for the sign. He gets it 2-0 on the way. Is this one? Oh, and this one, Morrison is going to run on this one. The throw on to second is almost lost there, but fielded cleanly enough by The second baseman there, Morrison, will advance, I believe, via a wild pitch.
Did that one hit the dirt?
I believe it did, yes. We are unfortunately not in Nashua. We cannot review that one.
Oh, yeah. Great ballpark, great facilities. And
so we will have to go off of pure memory, and I would say that would probably go down as a wild pitch.
Well,
so,
if it needs to be changed, of course, we can always review it after the game.
Sure. 3-0 pitch is on the way, and that one right down the middle for a strike, 3-1.
As expected.
Peter Marin taking that one all the way. He will now be at 3-1 from Cornorier, who looks back at the runner on second. Winds and deals. And this one smacked, leaving the infield. And are they going to wave him around? They are. Oh, wow, they are not. Morrison tripping and falling on his rear as he turns the corner at third.
So a great job there of Morrison holding up. He scampered. He didn't quite fall down, but he did scamper back to third, albeit he didn't have anyone covering the base. But, yeah, he was thinking about it, but then Getty holding him up at the last second, puts on the brakes, and well-oiled are those brakes, and he stands over on third.
Well, with one out on the board and a mild threat developing for the Suns, now the third baseman, Ivan Nunez, comes with a dish. 0 for 1 on the day, looking to try to fix that. And don't rule the Suns out of this one yet, Billy. A couple runners on. A big hit here could put the game back into contest. Nunez, of course, as always, crowding the plate. Cornorier first pitch, this one well outside to Nunez, 1-0. At this point, I'm not even really sure that Nunez crowding the plate is worthy of being mentioned, as it sort of should just be assumed he's automatically going to be doing it. 1-0 on the way, and this one, catching the outside corner, or part of the plate rather, even it up at 1 ball, 1 strike. With 1 away and runners in the corners. Cornorier checking the runners on as he delivers the 1-1. Is this one? Ooh, wow. Good rallying there from Koffel, saving a run coming aboard, making it now 2-1. Cornorier checking the runners on. He gets ready to throw the 2-1 as it is on the way. This one smacked, but just a little tiny bit foul. Little tiny bit.
And the good news is, with Morrison being in foul territory, if that hit him in foul territory, it just goes down as a dead ball foul. Remember back in Little League, Dan Hewitt, he was on third. Me as a lefty, a rare push down the left field line, right at him. He jumps up, and it goes right in between his legs. I will never forget that play. That's what that reminded me of, albeit not as close.
2-2 on the way, and this one's going to be well outside. An interesting pitch coming up. The 3-2 coming to Nunez.
Marin not going to be forced to take second. I don't think he's attempted anything thus far.
No, I don't believe he has.
Yes,
either.
he has 2-0. Or excuse me, 2-2. He will not.
3-2's on the way, and this one fouled. This one's going to leave the park. We will go again from full 3-2 to Nunez from Cornorier. Cornorier, excuse me. Told you it was going to happen.
Yeah, it happens. Now for Nunez, he hit that ball out of the park. He just wants it to go the opposite way, really.
Such is life at baseball. As we so much like to say in cricket, we would have scored something. As this one's put into play, hit to the third baseman. Is this going to go for 2? We have 1 out. We have 2. Ending the inning on the 5-4-3 double play. Masterfully done there by the infield, cutting down the Suns' threat and ending the inning. We now have top of the 9th action. The Bravehearts trying to pad their humongous lead in the top of the 9th. They lead the Suns 9-2 here on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
In times like these, violence in our schools is a reality, so it's important to know what to do if a dangerous situation arises, and also how to prevent it. Kids, never bring a weapon to school, and if you see a student with one or even hear someone talking about having a weapon, report it immediately. If something doesn't seem right or look right to you, speak up. If someone you know is showing signs of anger, or if you are feeling out of control, tell someone. If you feel threatened or bullied, tell someone. Violent acts often start out as small disagreements. Tell a parent or teacher if you see an argument taking place. It's better to let someone know about a disagreement before it gets out of hand. Let's put an end to these tragedies. Ask your school to adopt an anti-violence program. Visit ncpc.org to learn more about how to keep your school safe. That's ncpc.org. A message from the U.S. Department of Justice, National Crime Prevention Council, and the Ad Council.
Are you prepared in the event of a disaster? I'm Jim Cantori, reminding you that the best way to make your family safer is to be prepared before disaster strikes. First, build a disaster supply kit with enough supplies for each family member for at least 3 days. Next, make a family communication or evacuation plan. Finally, stay informed. Listen to local radio and TV reports when disasters are imminent. For more information on how you can be Red Cross ready, contact your local American Red Cross chapter or visit redcross.org.
Back to the top of the ninth action, and well, going from framing pitches to throwing them, we have a new pitcher in the ballgame, and as previously mentioned, that will be Severino Simeone. Simeone, no appearances out of the pen this season, looking to try to match Peter Marin as a position player who has thrown a clean inning today for the Suns. And again, that will relieve Peter Marin, who just threw one inning, faced 3 batters, got them all down. No walks, no strikeouts, just one clean inning.
So Simeone from catcher to pitcher will move Marin from pitcher to third. Nunez will be replaced by Hunter Hudson catching, and then Morrison a straight-up replacement over for DiMartino. So it is Simeone hurling to Hudson, third to first, Marin, McHale, Morrison, Hughes, Thomas, that is, and it still remains the outfield, Cronk, White, Mendoza, left to right.
And Simeone's first target will be the cleanup hitter, number 21, Dustin Harris, who will take a first pitch strike on the outside corner. Harris on the day, 2 for 4, blasted a 3-run shot back in the second and singled on his first pitch back in the first, struck out looking and popped out to the second baseman, his most recent 2 at-bats. Taking the first pitch, called strike 0-1 from the catcher, now converted pitcher, Severino Simeone. Simeone has the signal. He now throws the 0-1. It's a called strike. And look at Simeone's pitching stance there, Billy. I don't know. That's just amusing to me. You can just tell he's a position player, which great respect to him and Marin for covering some pretty clean innings.
Yeah. 10, 11 men in a row retired.
Too little, too late, unfortunately, as that 6-run inning in the second from the Bravehearts has stood. Would be all by itself, tripling up the Suns. Simeone looking for the sign. He gets it, delivers the 0-2. Is this one put into play? Now hit to Brett Morrison. Morrison throwing to first, and he got him. Stretching himself out and getting the put out to support Simeone is Morrison. That will give way to Brent Koffel, the catcher. Koffel 0 for 3 on the day, walked in the fourth, flew it to left, and really him and Chris Rinaldi are the only ones who haven't really done too much in today's game hitting-wise.
Well, Rinaldi does have a sacrifice fly as well as a walk, so be that as it will.
Yes, but Koffel not really accomplishing much of anything, hoping to try to do that today against the position player Simeone, as he has the first pitch, check swing, and doesn't matter as it would have been a called strike anyhow, making it now 0-1.
Just barely foul tipping that one back to the catcher Hudson, but I will say this, every single Braveheart has reached base today.
Now that is something else, as the 0-1 is on the way. This one fouled, a hard liner foul. This one going over to that house over there in foul territory. The insurance rates are ever climbing. We now go from 0-2. I wonder who owns that house, Billy. The 0-2 on the way. Does this one well outside, make that now 1-2.
I will say this, it's better that they own it than me. Albeit, I mean, the real commute from home to here would be astronomical for the amount of money I'd save.
High for a ball, 2 balls, 2 strikes. And not to mention, you're probably going to see some broken windows during the summer and maybe a dent or 2 to the outside wall.
Yeah, they can put it in my pay.
2 balls, 2 strikes is going to be high and away for a ball. Full 3 balls, 2 strikes. I don't think that's worth it to me, Billy. That doesn't pay me some serious money to deal with that. Full count pitch coming, as this one's going to be high for a ball, breaking up the streak of retired men, which had been sitting at 11, broken up by that walk. Brent Koffel breaking up the Bravehearts' cold streak, and that will give way to Kirk Sidwell, the left fielder.
Now, with that being said, it's still been 14 batters faced without giving up a hit. So, bravo to the Suns relieving corps for that.
Yes, the relieving corps of position players. As Sidwell 2 for 4 on the day. Couple doubles. He scored once in the second and drove in a run in the fourth. He also advanced on a wild pitch. That would be what scored him in the second. Simeone looking for the sign, checking the runner on first. Getting ready to deliver. And this one put into play. This one looking like it could be for two. There's the first out. The second out. Oh, is this one? It is not recorded as he is safe on a botched throw to first. Not quite cleanly picked from Hughes, preserving the inning. However, you cannot assume a double play, so that will not be an error. Simply will be a fielder's choice.
And for that, just a bad throw there from Morrison. Again, that was his first defensive play there at second, but really not his fault. But as you saw, a runner, he just went from first to second. He just said, you know what, I'm out of here. Or rather, second, excuse me. Yes, you're right.
So with 2 outs on the board, that will bring in
Kevin Duty, it looks like.
I was going to say this a replacement of some sort in Kevin Duty. Haven't seen him all ball game. He will be taking over, presumably, for Joseph Pesci, who will be leaving the game. As the first pitch is outside for a ball, make that 1-0. Looking at Duty, he has had 6 plate appearances. He's walked once, hasn't recorded a base hit. As the second pitch will be a ball, make that now 2-0.
Pitch there just slipped out there of Simeone making it high and tight. Really, again, he's a position player. Give him some credit.
Yeah, I really don't think you can get mad at Simeone for that one. 2 balls, no strikes coming up. As this one going to go foul. And where will that one go? That will, land right in front of a young fan there. And they tackle each other to see who can get the ball. And the one who it landed in front of triumphantly holds the ball up.
Yes. As a trophy.
Yes, as a trophy. In any case, the foul makes that a 2 balls, 1 strike count. 2-1 on the way from Simeone as this one high and a bit in for a ball, 3-1. We are hoping Simeone can finish a clean inning without allowing a run, just for the novelty of having it happen. As the 3-1's on the way, this one's going to be high and a bit in. This is going to be a second walk of the inning for Simeone. He will now face the third baseman, number 19, John Hansen. Hansen 1 for 2 on the day, 3 runs scored with a strikeout and a double. He's walked twice and he struck out swinging his last time up. Simeone trying to put Hansen down again to just throw a shutout inning just for the giggles. Here comes the first pitch. This one, well high and away, rather in for a ball. No.
Who's in the mood for a snow cone? Hudson there just barely got it in the catcher's mitt.
Simeone knows what that's like. It's the 1-0's on the way, and this one fouled away. Make that an even 1-1. Couple runners on for Simeone. An even 1 ball, 1 strike count. Here comes the 1-1. This one high for a ball, 2-1. The 2-1, Simeone has the sign. It's on the way, and this one a fly out. And this one caught by the right fielder, Mendoza. That will end a clean inning for Severino Simeone. Position players ruling the pitching for the Suns today. We now head to the bottom of the 9th. And with that, the Suns have to play 7 runs to tie the ball game. Not particularly likely, but we will see if they can, as they will have the 6, 7, 8 hitters up to bat here on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Getting your child home safely
Tap your views together 3 times.
is just a click away.
There's no place like home.
But making sure your child is in the right seat is just one of the steps down the road to safer travels.
I don't know how it works.
Find the right seat for your little one's age and size. There's no better way to get home safely. Know for sure that your child is in the right seat.
How can I ever thank you enough?
Get all the facts at safercar.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Did you know the third leading cause of fire deaths for older adults is cooking? Hi, I'm Rob Neal from the United States Fire Administration with important fire safety tips for seniors. Never leave cooking unattended because a serious fire can start in seconds. Don't wear loose clothing while cooking. Keep towels and pot holders away from the range. Double check the kitchen before you go to bed or leave your home. This message is brought to you by the United States Fire Administration, your local fire department, and this radio station.
Getting your child home safely
Tap your views together 3 times.
is just a click away.
There's no place like home.
But making sure your child is in the right seat is just one of the steps down the road to safer travels.
I don't know how it works.
Find the right seat for your little one's age and size. There's no better way to get home safely. Know for sure that your child is in the right seat.
How can I ever thank you enough?
Get all the facts at safercar.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Back to live action as the first pitch to Brian McHale is flied out to center. It's going to be already the first out of the inning. Brandon Cornorier staying in the game, and looks like he will close this one out, albeit not with any sort of decision of any sort. And he will next face off against Kyle Crunk. Kyle Crunk 0 for 2, but he did bring in a run in the 7th on a sacrifice fly. That was actually the last one to come across for either side in this game.
A sacrifice foul fly out,
yes,
of all things.
Yes, welcome to baseball. As the first pitch to Cronk is grounded to the third baseman, throwing to first. Oh, it's way thrown away as Cronk will get to first safely on what will no doubt be an E5. Looking like it would be a smooth, another one pitch out. However, it will not be for Cornorier, as the E5 will allow Cronk to advance onto first on the first pitch of his at-bat.
The throw is there, but just offline there from Hansen. He threw over to Harris, who had to go well off the bag.
And that will bring into play Vicente Mendoza. Mendoza 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts, trying to at least avoid wearing the hat, if not record his first base hit of the game, as the first pitch is in the inside corner for a strike, 0-1. 0-1 with 1 out on the way as Cornorier throws, and this one, could this be 2 to end the game? The throw on to second is a go, and the throw on to first is not a go. So a couple off throws onto first, that one allowing the game to continue. Of course, as I've said previously, you cannot assume a double play, so it will simply go down as a fielder's choice. And for that, that will give way into, well, the pitcher, Severino Simeone. Severino Simeone having quite the day. He is 2 for 3 on the ball game, a double and a single. He's also covered a clean inning of relief. So, you know, he's looking like he probably is going to end up as today's hitter of the game, if not also pitcher. Probably not pitcher, but I can joke about that. As the first pitch, oh, wow, that one's hit high, deep. Is this one going to skip off the wall? Not cleanly fielded by the outfield. They're going to send the runner home. Simeone stretching out for 3, and look at that. A catcher legging out a triple, an RBI triple. And at that, what a day for Simeone, who after that will no doubt be named hitter of the game for the Suns. In fact, Simeone is 1 homer short of the cycle, incredibly enough.
That was the hardest hit ball I've seen all game. He is homer shy of the cycle. He is the hitter of the game. And wow, was that hit hard right at the base of the wall and got away from the outfielders.
And that will bring in a run, making it now 9-3 Bravehearts, as Alexander White will come up to the dish. As that one was high for a ball, 1-0. The second pitch is going to clip the inside corner for a strike, now 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strikes is the next pitch. Going to be well outside for a ball, 2-1.
Yeah, Sevy has got to be elated.
Let's
pitch
go.
The scoreless inning. It's a homer shy of the cycle, having a game of the season.
The 2-1 on the way to White. That one clips the outside corner, as it will now make it 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 guys out with 1 runner in scoring position. The 2-2 is on the way from Cornorier.
Down to the final strike.
Is this one fouled, hitting the fencing over there off to our side. And yes, Billy, 1 strike away potentially from the ball game being over. However, it will have to come swinging or called, not by foul. Cornorier trying to end the game. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 men out. As this one inside for a ball, 3-2. Keeping the game and his at-bat alive. 3-2 from the 2-out pitch we go as this one fouled off again. They've got now 2 continuation fouls in this at-bat. And again, the Suns just 1 strike, 1 out away from the ball game being over. Cornorier trying to make that happen. White trying to prevent that. As we go from 3-2. Is this one called? Strike 3. You never want to see a ball game end that way for Alexander White. An unfortunate way of ending the ball game, but that will, in fact, end the game. The Suns thoroughly dominated all game long. We do get to see Severino Simeone do a couple cool things, but it's not enough as the team drops this one by a score of 9-3. So Billy and I here have the post-game coming up in just a little bit. Again, the final score of this game, the Bravehearts 9, Suns 3 here on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Type 2 diabetes is a serious chronic health threat in America. It affects tens of millions of people. Many people who have the disease don't know it. Diabetes can cause health problems such as heart disease, strokes, amputations, and blindness. Talk to your doctor, get screened if you're at risk, and learn how to avoid becoming one of the millions of new cases of diabetes each year. You can help prevent type 2 diabetes. A message from CDC and HHS.
So here's my cell phone number, my husband's cell phone number, and here's the number to the grandparents. The number of the restaurant we'll be at, it's just down the block. And I told the neighbors you were here, so if anything happens, anything at all, don't hesitate to call. And what's your cell phone number again? I don't think I put that in.
Honey,
what?
Honey, he'll be fine. Okay, let's go.
I know you're right.
The odds of a babysitter calling 911, 1 in 1,400. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism, 1 in 150. You know the odds of autism. Now learn some of the signs. No big smiles or other joyful expressions by 6 months. No back and forth sharing of sounds or facial expressions by 9 months. And no babbling by 12 months. To learn more of the signs and more about autism, visit autismspeaks.org. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Welcome to the Pittsfield Suns post-game show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. And now, back to Paul Dowd Field at historic Wakota Park in Pittsfield with your hosts, Billy Madewell and Andrew Belargin.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pittsfield Suns post-game show right here on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. Bravehearts all over the Suns, ultimately, at one point, non-noopling up the Suns 9-1. At the end of it, they triple up the Suns by a score of 9-3 to finish this one off.
Yeah, rough game for the Suns. A big one, home game against the Bravehearts. They picked up a big one in Worcester last night, but unfortunately for them, unable to even come close to replicating that effort here as they drop a big one.
So that, it was all over practically in the second alone. They bat around and in total get 6 runs, all of them earned. And with that being said, it started with a single by Sidwell, single by Pesci, a walk by Hanson to load the bases. Or excuse me, not load the bases, because there was a wild pitch that scored Sidwell. A ground out, runner stayed on second and third. A sacrifice fly by Chris Rinaldi. An RBI single by Edward House. A single by Michael Delacari, and then a 3-run shot by Dustin Harris. So that was 6 runs in the second. They would tack on another on an RBI single by Will Lucas in the third. On the fourth, an RBI single by Kirk Sidwell. The Suns would get 1 run in the bottom of the fourth, that being a sacrifice fly by Ivan Nunez. In the fifth, the Bravehearts would get that run right back as they were able to get a run in off a double play. Another run will come in for the Suns in the 7th and 9th, respectively, off a sacrifice foul flyout by Kyle Cronk. And then legging out an RBI triple was the starting catcher, then pitcher, Severino Simeone.
That was the play of the game for me, just for pure novelty.
That is exactly right. So for the Pittsfield Suns, again, dropping this one ultimately by a score of 9-3. The Suns, they only had 3 runs off 7 hits. They had no errors, but they left 7 men on base. And looking at their line right now, it wasn't the greatest night there for them. They only went 2 for 8 with runners in scoring position, scored all 3 runs off it, but only 2 for 8 with 7 men left on base. However, you look at the visiting side, it was, a little bit more than that. So with that, it was the Bravehearts going with 9 runs off of 12 hits, 2 errors, and 8 men left on base. And with runners in scoring position, well, they did just a little bit better. And just by a little bit better, they went 3 for 11, getting 8 out of their 9 runs on that, 4 total RBI off of that. So ultimately, again, Pittsfield Suns dropping this one, being tripled up by the Bravehearts by a score of 9-3.
And again, another tough one for the Suns here. Billy and I were talking about, like, the Suns could, if they win a bunch of consecutive games and beat the Bravehearts a bunch of times, they could, maybe get a first-round bye, although I don't think either of us were seriously thinking that could happen. After today, realistically, that's probably not going to happen.
So for tonight's pitcher of the ball game, Jonathan Marquia with a fantastic game, faced in the minimum and a perfect 2 innings, striking out 2.
I know
19 of his 26 pitches were for strikes.
I know we're giving it to Marquia off statistical merit, which I completely agree with, but we got to give a shout out to Marin and Simeone, just out of novelty of seeing position players come in and dominate.
Marin with a perfect 8, with only 10 pitches, 6 for strikes. Severino Simeone, sure, he had more balls than strikes, 10 balls to 9 strikes, total of 19
He's a
pitches.
position player. Give him a break.
Exactly.
Give him a break.
That's it. But we are going to give him a break because, well, he's getting the big break. He's the Pittsfield Suns player of the game. Again, going 3 for 4, having a day at the plate, a homer shy of the cycle with an RBI tacked on top. But ultimately, again, Pittsfield Suns dropped this one by a final score of 9-3. Andrew, right now, again, the winning in losing pitchers, it looks like it's going to be both starters, as Jake Sanderson, for him, he is actually going to improve his record, of course. And now for Sanderson, as we look down the line for Sanderson, he improves now to 2-0. But for the Pittsfield Suns and for the starter for the Suns, of course, that one being Cafaro, looking at his line, he's not going to fare as well, now dropping down to 1-3. No holds, no saves, no blown, no nothing. But what are your final thoughts on tonight's contest, Andrew?
Again, another rough one for the Suns. The pitching, particularly Bryson Cafaro, the starter, really just let this game go early. And from then on, was really kind of just coasting to another loss for the Suns in this one as they drop farther behind the Brockton Rocks in the standings. Thankfully, the Brockton Rocks didn't get to play today because we had a number of cancellations and postponements. So, the Suns are only going to drop back half a game, but it was also, if you think about the opportunity to jump a half game up the standings in a game that was pretty much over since the second inning. But again, I really enjoyed seeing Severino Simeone rake today. That was a lot of fun. And for the broadcast side of things, I did appreciate and I did enjoy getting some play-by-play innings. So thank you for that, Billy. I appreciate that. And yeah, I look forward to our next game here, calling a game for the Suns.
Yeah, you went 6 solid innings. So
no quality start, though, because I didn't start the
That's
game.
very true. Quality relief, we'll say.
What are we, the Tampa Bay Rays?
I don't know. But either way, it was great to see at the end of the game. The game was all but over, but great to see some position players pitching. But for the contest, it started at 5:02. Right now, we would be in a sun delay, but the ball game ended at 7:41 for a game time total of 2 hours and 39 minutes in front of a crowd of 568. The next time you'll hear from us will not be tomorrow because the Suns have the day off. Tomorrow, the day off, and on Tuesday, the Pittsfield Suns will host the Nashua Silver Knights. First pitch scheduled for 6:30, and then pregame is going to be set for 6 o'clock. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for us. Alongside Andrew Belargin, for players, coaches, umpires, and fans, this is Billy Madewell saying thank you for listening and watching for Pittsfield Suns Baseball and the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. Have yourself a great rest of the weekend. We'll see you there on Tuesday night right here at Wacona Park in Pittsfield.
Thank you for listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. Please join us next time for more exciting baseball action from Paul Dowd Field at historic Wacona Park. This play-by-play broadcast of Pittsfield Suns Baseball was a production of the Pittsfield Suns. Any reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the accounts and descriptions of this game without the express written consent of the Pittsfield Suns is strictly prohibited.